supido. Yo. Okay.
Like latered, maybe?
Epically latered.
Epically latered. And I watched a bunch of guys that were big skaters in the day that maybe so explaining what happened with their careers. Those are the ones. Who's the guy with no teeth? I know him. I followed him on
Andy Roy.
Andy Roy.
Yeah.
God, he's a fucking fascinating dude.
He has teeth now.
I know, they look great. He looks like a
Very
totally
bright,
different person. He really, yeah, he is.
He just did a meme on his Instagram that was a picture of me next to him, and it said front of the Christmas tree, back of the Christmas tree.
Actually gonna switch it up, except for what the fuck is that? Brianna Joy Gray.
Force the vote, fan. Hey, hi, and hello.
This is a quick one though. I don't know why the fuck it came out so grainy. Jesus. Okay, we did it.
Hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you are doing well. Want to jump in here and give my 2 cents on a clip that made the rounds on the internet and was the subject of a lot of discussion over this past week and weekend. It was in an interview with the one and only Rick Rubin, the legendary record producer, and of course, that was conducted by Anderson Cooper. And in this discussion, there were a lot of revelations, the most stunning of which was Rick openly admitting that he doesn't really know much about music. He doesn't know much about, like, you know, the technicals of producing music, in terms of like running a board, playing instruments, so on and so forth. And this left Anderson stunned. He was like, well, what's going on here? Why are you this super successful, famous producer that people are so interested in working with? If we can roll the clip will roll now. If we can't, and it's a bad idea because of you know, monetization and this video getting claimed and stuff, maybe we'll just show a picture of it. Well, I don't really play much instruments. Wow, that's kind of crazy. They basically both have the same voice, but in a slightly different register in my mind. I don't know why. But either way, long story short, yes, Rick Rubin who has worked with the greatest of the greats of the greats and made some of my favorite records of all time, be they with Slayer, be they with some very early classic hip-hop acts, be they with freaking System of a Down, be they with Johnny Cash. Yes, Rick has had his fingerprints all over some really amazing and legendary records over the years, and seemingly he does not have the chops or know-how to assemble or compose music, to play instruments, or run a board, so he says. Now, let's presume Rick is on the level. He's not like, some kind of a guitar virtuoso in secret, or some board master or something like that. He's being honest and accurate in his assessment of his abilities in the studio when he works with artists, which maybe some people are not surprised by, given that, that there is like some criticism out there of some of his, production choices around things like compression and mixing and stuff like that. Still, though, he does seemingly put out a lot of good work on a consistent basis, and a lot of interesting work as well. Okay, with all that prefacing out of the way, is what Rick Rubin told us in this interview, is this a bad thing? Is it a shocker? Should it be a shocker? In a way, I don't think so, because rarely is anyone at Rick Rubin's level of success, or even Pharrell's level of success, working entirely by themselves. It's not as if they don't have people working under them or working with them to create the music that they make. After all, a studio and a production suite, depending on how involved it is and how big it is a pretty big ship to run all by yourself. Not really shocked someone like Rick Rubin might have other people doing this stuff for him and might not have all the technical chops that a sound engineer who's been professionally doing that and singularly that for years and years and years might have over him. Ultimately, the point that I'm getting at here is that this doesn't really matter, because what is the most significant thing to Rick Rubin's process, whatever that process is, because it's not like he's going to just give out the secret sauce for nothing. As long as Rick has an idea with his success, with his connections, with his resources, he could call on literally anybody to come in and implement it. As long as he has the idea, clear idea of what he wants to achieve in his mind, he can literally get a hold of anybody to do it and make it happen. This essentially makes Rick Rubin like the bizarro DJ Khaled. I know a lot of people look at DJ Khaled's music and say, wow, that music sucks and is trash because DJ Khaled's not talented. He doesn't write, he doesn't sing, he doesn't produce, he doesn't do anything. That is correct. That is true. And, given Rick Rubin's comments about himself, let's assume, musically speaking, that he and DJ Khaled are about on the same level of musicality. Probably not true, but, let's presume that if you also gave Rick Rubin a Bob Marley acoustic guitar, he as well would go, whatever the hell that was. Let's presume they're at that same level and that they have to call on other people to come in and make certain things happen, be they beats or arrangements, whatever. If that is the case, what makes DJ Khaled's music suck and the music that Rick Rubin is involved with not suck is that DJ Khaled's ideas are piss and bad. There's an entire sea of musicians out there who are very technically proficient and super talented. You can put them on whatever their acts of choice is, and they can just like rip and riff like it's nobody's business, and they sound amazing. Maybe they even have a very deep understanding of music theory. But if their ideas for songs and their ideas for melodies are boring, fall flat, if their ideas for arrangements aren't good, then, I'm sorry, all the technical ability in the world doesn't matter. Like, obviously studying music is a good thing, and I'm not advocating for ignorance here, but at the end of the day, if all of that ability and all that know-how amounts to music that sounds like a fucking chemistry set, you've wasted your time. I would rather listen to somebody who, maybe on a technical level, has no fucking idea of what they're doing, but they have an idea up here, and they're going to put their heart and soul into it as fully and as passionately as they possibly can. I would much rather listen to that. I would much rather have that experience. In fact, like, if punk as an art movement has taught us or revolutionized anything, it should be that. The idea that technical ability is trumped by a great idea, by passion, a concept. And certainly there's many crossroads in which technical ability and ideas and passion and so on and so forth intersect. They're not at odds with each other, and in most cases with popular music, I would say they complement each other. But let's be real here. There is an order of operations to these things. And ultimately, when it comes to good music that has staying power, I think ideas come first. Technicals come second. And if you need technicals, you can practice, you can study, or if you're a guy who is in the position that Rick Rubin is, you go out with your ideas and with your experience and with your brain and reach out to people. You find people who you can bring in and do those things that you want to be done. Some people who are cynical may say, well, is that artistry? Is that creating? Is that this? Is that that? I don't know. Is
Steve Jobsing,
directing an
bro.
art? Of
It's
course
Steve
it is. How is
Jobsing.
being a producer that much different than being a director in like a cinematic sense? Just like a director, the producer has instruments, they have
basically.
musicians, they have somebody who's hopefully written something
cannot
to record in the studio.
fucking
You
lose
have
this,
equipment,
yeah.
you have effects, you have
we go.
various applications,
Easy dub, easy dub,
VSTs,
rocket
so on
ship.
and so forth. And as the producer, be it through your own technical ability or
Gang,
somebody
gang.
else who you are directing, it is your job to make it all come together and visualize it in such a way where it is harmonious, it is holistic, it communicates something, it's cohesive as well, if that's your preference. And then you do your damnedest to take that vision and you make it manifest in real life. You translate it to whatever medium you're working in this case, music. So no, I'm not entirely shocked that Rick Rubin came out and said something like this. Rick Rubin, I think, has proven himself to have very good ideas over the years. And the fact that he lacks the technical chops to make them all happen by himself, to me, is even more impressive. The fact that theory-wise, he's going into many of these recordings just absolutely blind, and yet they come out fantastic anyway. But there you go. Those are my thoughts on that. Let me know yours down in the comments. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Rick Rubin, music forever.
Fans and Brianna Joy Gray fans are fucking subhuman pieces of shit who are despicable people who are only in it for the aesthetic and for the grift. Dipshit retards like Brianna here. There are very few people on the quote left who I have less respect for than Brianna Joy Gray. What a piece of shit. I do hate her. We're never gonna have her on this show. Brianna Joy Gray is a truly reprehensible person. They are spineless, grifting, weaselly, worthless little pieces. An idiot. I have no respect for Brianna Joy Gray. This is what we call a Joy Gray moment right here. No matter what she personally believes, she covers for fascists. She's representative of the rot in the online left, unworthy of the platforms that they stumbled into through the charity of people smarter than them. For a genuinely unhinged person, she'll never have me on. You'll never have me on, will you, Brianna? You know that wouldn't go well for you.
I'm excited to be joined today on Bad Faith Podcast for the first time by prolific Twitch streamer turned YouTube streamer, Vosh. Welcome to the program.
Hello, what a pleasure to be here. Hope you're doing well this fine morning.
I am doing well. Look, so the reason I wanted to talk to you today is because I had the pleasure of meeting you for the first time on Rising last week. You know,
See,
we
I
were
always
brought
do
on,
that.
the producers reached out to you to come and talk about some of the discourse that's been going around about Andrew Tate and this crisis of masculinity that seems to have been an ongoing problem and trend for some years now. The rise of popular internet figures like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate as reflective of some deficit in society more broadly that is leading to both these YouTube figures and also a lot of kind of dangerous crisis of masculinity. You know, we were brought on. Look, so the reason
Be here. Hope you're...
YouTube streamer, Vosh, welcome to the program.
Hello, what a pleasure to be here. Hope you're doing well this fine morning.
I am doing well. Look, so the reason I wanted to talk to you today is because I had the pleasure of meeting you for the first time on Rising last week. You know, we were brought on, the producers reached out to you to come and talk about some of the discourse that's been going around about Andrew Tate and this crisis of masculinity that seems to have been an ongoing problem and trend for some years now. The rise of popular internet figures like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate as reflective of some deficit in society more broadly that is leading to both these YouTube figures and also a lot of kind of dangerous socially maladaptive behavior offline, I would say, and whether or not the left has met the moment in the same way that the right has in terms of offering an off-ramp to people who feel perhaps isolated, disillusioned by society, etc. And what people noted after our interview was that there had been this history of you having had some substantive criticisms of me online, and it felt odd to folks that we had never actually
Subtweeting. You tried my shit,
talked
bro.
about it before we were kind of in this public setting, talking very cordially. Joining us now to discuss
Oh,
is Lucy
yeah.
Rebels. Welcome to the show.
My pleasure to be here. How y'all doing?
We're doing all right. And I was impressed by your professionalism and decorum in that context, and I thought that you might be a good person to actually be able to have it out with and discuss some of our substantive disagreements and also anything else you want to talk about today. How does that sound?
Oh, sure. Look, I love arguing with folks, but the masculinity Andrew Tate business, it's pretty serious. You know, I think it's important to take the opportunities you can to talk about it. Plus, there's just no fun in getting off in the head every time you're, in the same Zoom call with someone just because you've argued online. If folks did that, there'd be no way for anyone to do any kind of collaboration the way things
Where are
are
you?
these days.
Oh, no.
I agree. And Vashak, I gotta say, I don't see us as having really argued online. I have, become aware over the years of a number of, critical videos you've done about me. You, I believe, took offense to a radar that I did about defunding the FBI.
No matter what she personally believes, she covers for fascists.
We were on opposite sides of the Force the Vote conversation.
The specific Force the Vote movement was one of the most blatant grifts that got passed as left-leaning activism in the past several years.
And I'm sure there's been some other things over the years, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. What would you describe as your kind of substantive disagreement with me or my political
What's your
approach?
beef with me, dude?
I wish I'd written a list. I've got such a bad memory. Look, the gist of it is this.
That fucking laugh,
and,
dude.
we're all, not everyone's
It's that
going to agree on
Kamala
every part
style
of it.
fucking-
Some disagreement is natural. But I've noticed a tendency across the
Yeah.
left,
Beautiful.
where as a reaction to the idea that softness and identity politics has in some way weakened the left's movement, the left coalition, I see some people who are moving towards this, well, the right and the left both have the same fundamentally, valid critique of society, which is to say that there are elites in charge who have an undue and inordinate amount of power, and that the best way to challenge those systems is with a kind of like radical populist movement that is left-leaning but can reach out to the right.
I blew it.
Principally, I don't disagree with this. It's definitely possible to take right populism against economic elites and turn it in the right direction. Sometimes they're just mad about Jews. Really a coin flip on that one. Notice sometimes this discourse sort of spirals off and sends people in a bad direction. I've criticized Jimmy Dore plenty because I feel like he's one of the poster children for this particular movement, to the point now where he's just a Republican, indistinguishable in every way. If I had any criticisms of your takes, they'd probably be somewhere in the line of that vein. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? This tendency, this line that's been drawn.
Yeah, I've heard people make that criticism, but I'm often confused as to why people make that criticism of me. So, for example, I know that you did an extended video on my
don't
Marjorie
believe
Taylor
it's Jimmy
Greene
Dore.
is right radar, right? Which was an argument attempting to, with a provocative title and framing, say, hey, conservatives, not conservative leadership, I want to make sure that we make a distinction between, we're talking about Republicans or conservative voters versus Republican or conservative politicos who
There
I
we
think
go.
are often
Perfect.
acting in
I
bad
blew it.
faith,
I
whereas
blew
some
it. I blew
voters
that one.
have a good faith interest in a lot of these issues where there's overlap between the left and the right, but are being drawn to the right
It's
because they don't
going.
see space for it
It's
on the left. I just want to be
fucking
clear.
going.
I'm not giving any
Yeah!
credence to what Marjorie Taylor Greene as a person is saying. But in the context of that radar, I'm saying, okay, let's acknowledge that for once, the right is adopting a position that has long belonged to the left, that these deep state institutions have historically over-targeted the left and progressive movements, whether it's the Black Panthers, whether it's communist and socialist movements in the first half of this century. And let's make sure that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is not a good faith actor, who is buffoonish in her takes and in her politics and in her behavior, let's not let her be the one that owns the space. Let's use this opportunity, this opening that Republicans have set up to actually advocate for
Where
the
you
kinds
at?
of reforms
Get
to
ready.
these institutions that the left has always wanted to have. let's take this moment and write it in our own image instead of completely abdicating our voice in this space. And I was really clear in that radar. I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. What she's fighting for is stupid. She just wants to insulate Donald Trump. I say all of these things repeatedly. I say repeatedly that the right is not the answer, that people should not vote Republican, that I vote independent, that I would never vote Republican. And yet, despite what I feel to be, an almost exhausting level of caveating, inevitably there's someone who pipes up and says, oh, Briahna Joy Gray is running cover for Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think I called her, I forget what epithet I called her in the course of the radar, but
some kind
it wasn't
of racial
nice.
slur, no doubt.
LOL. But you know what I mean, Vosh. So what do you say to that?
Well, I remember that. This was the FBI discourse. It just, in the terms of Marjorie Taylor Greene and the, broken clock being right twice a day thing, it reminds me a little bit of like a Holocaust denier who, will briefly acknowledge the existence of the Holocaust only when comparing it to, COVID lockdowns or something, right? Very marginal, very narrow. I'm going to take the correct sort of framing on an issue for just a second, so it allows me to take, an awful take. Because I don't think, and you've said this, right?
Yes.
I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene really has an issue with the oh my goodness, sorry, it's so early. The FBI or institutional power. It's really just a matter of where it's being used. And I'm kind of curious about the way it's, kind of taken shape in this discourse too, because I don't really have an issue with the way the FBI has been behaving with regards to like the raid on Mar-a-Lago or any of the recent investigation stuff since the Trump administration. It's still the FBI, right? Not exactly an ally of the left, but broadly as an institution of the state, as the feds. They've been doing, it seems, a relatively upstanding job, certainly compared to what they've done in the past. And I worry about fomenting any kind of opposition to them now in the context of how the right sees them as being, if you accept the FBI as bad broadly, you're kind of giving leeway to the right there to make invalid criticisms against their behavior when they're targeting legitimately stuff they've done.
So I think that's a perfectly legitimate argument, which is why, literally in the context of that radar, I said, part of the issue is that elites want to change institutions when they start to hold elites accountable. And that historically, the FBI and these kinds of deep state, for lack of a better word, institutions have been used to run cover for elites. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So regardless of how you feel about Mar-a-Lago, whether was a political raid, and of course, there's all of this stuff going on now with Biden and whether or not he's being treated similarly or differently. And that's a whole other quagmire. But regardless of whether you feel like Trump is being unfairly persecuted by the FBI or not, the left knows how it feels about the FBI. And why not let the left make its claims about how the left FBI should be reformed in a progressive way? If you have concerns about the right only using this issue of FBI reform as a way to insulate Donald Trump. And I find that a lot of conservatives in the rising audience, for instance, are very hostile to the idea that a powerful institution would be weaponized to defend the rich but attack the poor, or even attack the left and attack the otherwise marginal. And they are open to that argument. And they, in fact, were very receptive to that argument in the comments of that video and elsewhere online. And so, again, I wonder what you make of that. I feel like that's a legitimate point that you made and one that I addressed in the context of the radar. So why the kind of hostility about the radar in particular?
Well, because of the framing, which, to be fair, you kind of did right there, right? The Mar-a-Lago thing and the Biden thing ain't really comparable. The raid on Mar-a-Lago was because Trump had failed to comply with pre-existing demands to turn over the material. Seems like Biden just, dropped spaghetti out of his pockets and left a bunch of documents everywhere. Stupid, no defending it, but not really federal raid territory.
I don't think they're comparable, and that's why Biden wasn't raided. I do think that because Biden took the position when the Trump documents were outstanding, that it was deeply irresponsible for a president to have been in this position, that I think he said something like, no one should ever be president who is so irresponsible with documents. And now here he is, obviously in the exact same situation. So I do think Biden set himself up for a number of comparisons and claims being made about his fitness because of overreaching with the Trump argument.
However, I totally get it. I'll tell you a secret. I voted for Bernie during the primaries, not Biden.
Yeah, I'm aware, but you did vote for Joe Biden during the general election, and you advocated for people to do so, which is perfectly fine. But I do believe that's another point of contention that you've had with me, that you disagreed with my hesitation to endorse Biden so quickly and my demand that the left hold out, and including Bernie, hold out a little longer in the endorsement process until he had gotten something more in the line of concrete concessions from Joe Biden.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm happy to hit to that. But with regards to the document thing, you said that the question, he went so hard on the Mar-a-Lago rape thing, Biden, and then it turns out, he's got these docs around. I agree. This is a political, falter on his part.
Why
sure.
would he do
Doesn't
that?
really
Why
speak
would
to
my
the
teammate
FBI
whack
though.
into me,
I wanted
bro?
to ask though, specifically, because when the cons are talking about the FBI, they're usually criticizing them for behavior I think is just and warranted, like the Mueller investigation, for all the fun and fireworks that turned out to be.
Where are
In
the
principle, I
opponents?
get it, Much in the same way that the whole Russiagate business ended up turning up some pretty interesting info, indictments and knowledge, and how the Russian government was making a cat run out of there. Silly. The Russian government was making a good effort to, lean on the scales however they could. It seems like, at least at the moment, I don't really know what you mean when you say reforms to the FBI. What does that mean? Because when MTG says it, she means like, don't like aggressive. And the cons are talking about the FBI. They're usually criticizing them for behavior I think is just and warranted, like the Mueller investigation, for all the fun and fireworks that turned out to be. In principle, I get it, Much in the same way that the whole Russiagate business ended up turning up some pretty interesting info, indictments and knowledge, and how the Russian government was making it.
The Russiagate ain't
Run
turning
out
out
of there.
shit.
Silly.
Interesting, bro. No!
The Russian government was making a good effort to, lean on the scales however they could. It seems like, at least at the moment, I don't really know what you mean when you say reforms to the FBI. What does that mean? Because when MTG says it, she means like, don't go after cons ever. So like, what reform are we like looking for here?
Well, to be frank, what MTG was advocating for was abolishing the FBI. That's what was trending. That's the phraseology that people were using: abolish the FBI.
But we
And
know
I'm
what
of the
she
mind that
meant.
given the historical, I believe in the
can't believe
radar,
it.
I mentioned that 85%, I think it was, of
I
all
cannot believe it.
FBI investigations,
I'm eating shit like
you
this
know,
right now.
wiretapping, assassinations, all of the things that it's done have targeted the left.
Oh
So
my God.
on balance, do I care about the Mueller investigation or a raid in Mar-a-Lago as compared to the murder of civil rights leaders and the wiretapping of everybody from Martin Luther King to Elvis? No, I would happily abolish the FBI. So that's top level. If people are making that argument, even if it means incidentally that there are some, let's say, legitimate investigations that don't occur, I personally, on balance, would be happy with that compromise. Now, that's not a compromise that needs to be made. Any number of institutions exist to investigate errant presidents and the like. The DOJ can continue to exist. This argument is often brought up in the context of, like, let's say, abolish ICE or abolish the police. Abolish the NSA. There have been institutions that have accommodated the needs of those, of those institutions before those relatively newer versions existed. And I don't think that simply asking for substantive reform or abolishment of one institution means that everyone else gets off the hook, which is, again, why I made it clear in my radar that advocating
Nikki?
for systemic
Why
reform
can't I hear you,
for the
bro?
purpose of insulating elites against criticism is absolutely the opposite of what we should do. But we should be cognizant of the fact that these institutions are
Yup.
designed and are put in place
Yo.
to do the exact
Hey.
opposite, to protect the elites and
Let's
target.
Shit, bro, that was nasty. Not even gonna lie.
Dude, right? Right?
Kind of a lucky bounce, but
I mean, that's the whole. It's all about how you react to the bounce, dude.
thanks.
How you been, bro? What you been up to?
Just been chilling, bro.
Did you see the
Watching the sports.
Hey, yeah, you watched yesterday? The Eagles
Yeah.
and the fucking Bengals?
Or you're not that game. That was fucked. The refs did it dirty.
Really? I didn't get to. I missed both fucking games, dude.
The second game, the refs did it dirty, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, actually.
What was the fucked up call?
There was like 4 fucked up calls, dude. One of them, there was a malfunction with the clock, and they called the play, and one of the officials tried to wave the play dead, but he didn't get it off in time, so he just let it play out. And then afterwards, he was like, "Yeah, we got to replay that down,"
Damn.
which was like
really?
so random. So the Chiefs basically got bailed out.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Actually.
It didn't really end up mattering that much, that specific play, but there was like 3 or 4 other rough ones.
Dude, the Bengals fucking rigged the game, dude.
To lose, yeah.
To lose. Oh, the Bengals lost?
Yeah,
Oh shit. So wait, so who'd they fucking play?
the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. I was say so the Chiefs are gonna play the Eagles.
Yeah, in the Super Bowl.
Damn. Who you have?
I mean, I think I'm going Eagles.
Eagles. Why?
I think I am because their defense, fire, offensive line, fire. Like they're gonna outmuscle them, bro. I
What,
think so.
What are the Chiefs lacking?
The Chiefs,
Yeah.
their defense isn't as good, and also Patrick Mahomes is kind of injured. Like he fucked up his ankle.
Bro, you saw that video of his dad?
Mahomes' dad?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
There's some video of his dad. He's like, I'm smoking on that Joe Burrow or some shit.
Oh, I did see that. That shit was so funny.
Ripping it, dude.
Dude, because they were talking so much shit.
Dude,
So you and Burrowhead, that's what they were saying.
I love that,
Is
bro.
the- Because the name of the stadium's Arrowhead, and it's the Chiefs, but they were calling it Burrowhead.
Nice. You gotta love it. You gotta fucking love it. Are you gonna bet money, dude?
Probably not.
No, you're not that confident in your prediction, dude?
It's not worth. It's not worth.
Yeah, you can't win that much money.
No, you can, absolutely, but it could go either way. I mean, Mahomes is really fucking good, so who knows. But so this chick is like pro getting rid of the FBI, it seems like.
Oh, Brianna Joy Gray?
Yeah, whatever her name is, the girl you're watching.
She's like a. Do you know who that is?
I've seen her on people's videos, but I haven't watched any of her stuff, I don't think.
She was like a. She was worked on Bernie's campaign, and now
Gotcha.
now she has the Crystal and Sagar's old job.
Oh, she's on
At the-
Rising?
Yeah. She
I've
does-
probably seen
she
a
does
couple of
Rising.
those.
I have literally never watched Rising ever since they left. I've not
I
clicked
mean,
on
yeah,
one of
breaking
those
points
videos.
now.
But basically, Vosh fucking like hates her. Like Vosh has called this girl a dumbass like so many fucking times, and I guess they finally. I think he went on Rising first with her, and now they're doing like a fucking long podcast. So I'm waiting to see if who's more full of shit, you know, because I'm not really a fan of either of them. TBH, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded interesting what they were talking about so far.
Yeah, the FBI shit, cause you know, remember
She's got a
when,
point.
Yeah, when Marjorie Taylor Greene was like, abolish the FBI.
Yeah.
Vosh's side is basically like, shut the fuck up, you don't mean that. And Brianna Joy Gray is like, yes, abolish the FBI, right? And I guess they disagree on their reaction to that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I side more with, honestly, Brianna Joy Gray on that point.
I think so far, probably. I don't know if we should get rid of it completely, because I feel like the FBI is one of the last
Oh.
lines of defense, like if some bad shit's gonna happen.
I don't really have an opinion on that. I'm more focused on like the part where like is it better, like basically like Marjorie Taylor Greene in Brianna Joy Gray's eyes is like did the math wrong but got the right answer, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, so why do you want to
And then
get rid of the FBI?
And then Vosh is like, no, your math has to be right or it's not worth it, you know what I mean? That's
I
basically
see
the
what you're
argument, you know?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And I think I'm more on Brianna Joy Gray's side. I'm like, as long as you get the right answer, I don't give a fuck how you got there. You know?
Gotcha.
What do you think, though? Do you agree with that, or are you like, nah?
I
the
think
math doesn't
that-
check out.
The answer is important, but the reasoning probably matters more because it shows how you would feel about other things.
The reasoning,
Like
I
if-
feel like matters more in the long term, but in the short term, like, fuck it, you know?
I agree with that in the sense that, like, if you agree with someone, you shouldn't matter who it is. Like, you should just take the support. Like, it's obviously the smart thing to do.
Yeah. But Vosh is like, fuck that.
Of course he is.
Dude, Vosh is the fucking worst. Dude, if we should do like a tier list of like leftist internet political people and like
That'd be
rank
so
them.
easy.
Who'd you put at the top?
And I
of the
barely
list?
even know any of them.
Who would you put at the top of the list?
Obviously Hassan.
Wait, is Hassan really your top leftist
No,
streamer?
absolutely
Oh.
not.
I was about to say, is it Destiny?
I mean, probably like only live streamers, or
Like any like internet politics people.
honestly, Crystal and Saga are S tier.
That's
Undeniable.
That's your S tier for sure.
I would say at least A. You can't put them lower than that.
I would definitely put him in the A tier at least for sure.
Okay, I respect that.
Because I just the only criticism I have on their show is sometimes they don't push back on each other as hard as I wish they would, you know?
That's fair.
Like sometimes they just disagree and they just leave it there and I'm like, bro, you gotta argue. Like, you know?
Get into it. Yeah, they never really get into it like that.
Yeah.
They're very buddy.
They get into it sometimes. Like sometimes they you could definitely tell they disagree on shit. Like they talked about, because you know how DeSantis banned critical race theory, like the AP critical race theory in high schools. So we're talking about that and
Saw that one with Jordan Peterson.
yeah. Oh, you watched the clip? Yeah. So you saw like Saga
Yeah.
was like, listen, I think you're crazy if you want to learn that, but you know.
Should have
And
the
I'm
right
like,
to. Did
yeah.
he say something like that?
And I'm like, yeah, something like that, basically. But like, that's when I'm like, Crystal should definitely be like, bro, are you kidding me? But also, like, critical race theory, the smartest thing Jordan Peterson said about it is that it's like, it's not even easy to like nail down what people mean when they say that.
Like what it actually is,
Yeah.
exactly.
Cause
It's very hard
what does
to
it
nail
mean
down.
to you? Like, if you had to define critical race theory,
That's a good question.
right? Like, to me,
I don't think it includes like. Do you think it includes white privilege and things like that?
yeah.
Like
I do.
necessarily?
I do
Yeah.
think it includes, because I think like what it's about is about like it's like educating people on like how
The
deep-rooted
history
the
of race in the
racism-
United
yeah,
States.
how it's like
basically.
truly like like systemically fucked. And white privilege is obviously
I'm
like
so close with that shot, bro.
dude.
But yeah, I guess that's all it really means. But what else is included is the hard
Exactly.
question.
Exactly. Like, am I like the conservative worry in my head is either it's like a range of like you're gonna tell my white kid he's racist and make him feel bad. It's that, or it's just like this. All of this is bullshit. Like, there's no racism anymore. Like, those are the two.
But no one's teaching that in school. Oh, there's no racism anymore. Maybe like random teachers here
Yeah,
and there, but
yeah.
it's not like being taught.
Yeah, it's not the curriculum for sure.
Yeah.
But they're definitely. I think most people are like gonna say, you know what? But nowadays, we got equality.
Low key. I mean, not all the way, absolutely,
Absolutely
not.
not. We still got a little bit to go. We still got them microaggressions, dude.
Yeah, I think JP's right because it's really hard to say like what's the bad part of critical race theory.
And
But
I didn't think he was gonna have the take he had, but it was pretty fun. Like, I thought he was gonna be like super supportive of DeSantis, but he was like, "Fuck that, dude.
yeah,
Fuck the."
he's always
government."
been like pretty libertarian type shit.
I guess so. But now he gets paid by oil companies, so climate change is bullshit. That shit's wild.
Now, my roommate loved Jordan Peterson, one of the kids in my frat, and he had a "Don't tread on me" fucking flag.
Did he have the book?
I don't know.
12.
Good question. I think the 12 Rules of Life or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I think he did have that.
Brandon has that book.
Huh?
But see, like, that's honestly like one of his better things. Like that book's not that bad. Some of it's probably like ridiculous, but like,
He was good at psychology. He actually
Yeah.
knew what he was talking about.
yeah. And apparently now they're like trying to take his license away or some shit.
Which is kind of fucked up,
It's
honestly.
crazy. Yeah.
I don't know the full story, but from what I saw, it seems not right.
It seems not right, and it also seems like there's probably a lot of psychiatrists that think the exact same way. So it's like, you better be taking a fuck ton of people's licenses away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to just single out him when it's like probably a good portion of the psychology community.
that are just more quiet and aren't public.
Yeah, exactly. That just don't work for the Daily Wire. You know?
It's pretty stupid.
Dude, did you see the Steven Crowder shit with the Daily Wire?
So a little bit of it. I think you told me a little bit about it last time.
Oh yeah. So you didn't see like any either the videos when he's calling them out or the Daily Wire's response? Cause he really looked like a fucking clown, dude.
Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
I've always definitely thought of him as like
Oh.
Ben Shapiro's little brother.
Damn, you little
His
bro.
angsty little bro.
Is-
Always trying to fit in.
He's the Hassan of the right.
Oh my god, no.
No, you don't think so? if
I mean, he's very
if-
popular.
if Ben Shapiro is the destiny of the right, then Crowder is the fucking Hassan.
Who's more poppin' though? Isn't Ben more poppin'?
Honestly, I don't know. They're both way more poppin' than you think. Like,
Yeah.
where the fuck does the Daily Wire have $50 million to pay Steven Crowder? Like,
They have like employees, bro. They're like a real business. for
yeah,
real.
yeah. They're a real business. I'm not saying they're not a real business, but to pay one of the creators 50 mil, bro.
Was it like a 5-10 year deal or some shit? 360
I
deal?
think it was a 4-year deal, I believe, with like
360?
Basically, I think it was basically like, yeah, like for like the 4
That
years.
still seems high for Steven Crowder.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It
Seems really high.
It seems high. Like, it's just like, where the fuck? They're not getting that money from subs, dude. No way.
I guess they got views on Rumble. They probably have a Patreon. They probably each of their
50
creators.
mil,
maybe.
dude.
It is still
Their
a
YouTube
lot of
channel
money.
it probably makes like, dude, like, they probably make like,
Well, they probably have sponsorships.
yeah. I mean, they get
Shit.
paid by a lot of fucking corporate interests.
Ben Shapiro's got 5 M's on YouTube. Okay, I'm not that surprised.
You think 5 M's means, dude, but like, to me, like, if it's $50 million, then that's like the entirety of it. Like, that's all the money they have. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
I think he's taking a cut from a lot of these creators. Like, what Candace Owens is employed by them. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, they make money off the content that they make under the Daily Wire, of course. But like,
50 mil is still a lot.
50 mil's a fuck ton, dude. Compared to like on the left.
I mean, Joe Rogan's making more than that though.
I mean, Joe got literally $100 million or some shit on Spotify, dude. He fucking got the craziest deal.
Yeah.
He got a deal like I don't think nobody else would ever get that fucking deal, bro. Like no one else in podcasting is ever gonna get a deal that big.
One day it'll happen.
Do you think it
I
was worth
guarantee
it for Spotify? Like in my head, I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't even
definitely.
think it was worth dropping that much money for Spotify, bro. Like, how much did it really increase, like fucking viewership? You know?
I think a good amount because you literally can't watch the episodes on YouTube anymore. Like if he was still uploading them on YouTube, then maybe yeah, it wouldn't make a difference. But everyone's got to go to Spotify every time, and they got like, you can't screen record it. Like,
Oh, you can't?
no, it just goes in a black screen.
Dang. So if I try to throw it on right now, my stream is gonna go black. I didn't know that.
I think.
'Cause streaming services do that. Fucking Netflix and shit will do that.
Yeah, if OBS detects it, then yeah, it definitely should. Maybe not if you're watching a clip on YouTube, that's probably fine. But
Yeah, the YouTube clips will. You know, I got copyright striked for the TLC video, for the cheap
No
ass
way.
lady. Yeah, I got a copyright strike on YouTube.
that's unnecessary.
Right?
A strike, or it was like they
Oh,
just
not a
took
strike.
it down.
It was a warning. It was a warning. Yeah, they just took it down. Not a strike.
Chilling.
Yeah, yeah.
Strike, bro. That's
That would suck.
getting into danger territory.
Yeah. Then I mean, it's like a 90-day thing. But I wonder like how much of the video you can get away with showing before like motherfuckers are like strike time.
I bet 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's probably something like that. Probably some bullshit like that, bro. Some 30 fucking seconds. Oh my god. Yes. What was I saying right before that?
Something about ads or something. or making money.
Yeah.
Daily Wire.
I just don't know how they're making money like that. Like to be paying Steven Crowder 50 mil. And supposedly, Steven Crowder denies this, but supposedly he was like, it's gonna have to be like 120 mil, bro.
What? That's insane.
Because the deal is also like production and everything is on like that. It wasn't like 50 million for Steven Crowder. It was like 50 mil for like the whole everything. Like,
Bro, they got that Prager University money.
exactly. And Prager University, that's one that's like straight up just funded by like giant fucking
Literal-
companies. Yeah, like oil
yeah.
companies and shit. Fucking PragerU. You know that old fucking guy?
Dennis Prager.
Yeah, Dennis fucking Prager, dude. Where did he fucking come from, dude? Anytime political shit, like PragerU and shit, like anytime, like the second you see the ads for it, I'm like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, there's no Breaking Points ads ever. Like when you watch a YouTube video, you never will get like a Breaking Points fucking ad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's all like products.
It's all word of
companies.
mouth. Like it's all just people sharing the videos and stuff.
Yep.
But PragerU, like the first time I heard about PragerU was because it was a fucking ad in one, like a video in like a like a Kyle Kalinske video or some shit, dude.
But popping up in recommended, that's pretty much an ad. In a way.
I guess it's kind
This
of
is a different ad. It's an interactive ad. 'Cause you gotta click on it.
Interactive ad. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I was gonna bring up something else to you. I totally forgot what it was gonna be. Fuck, man. I had some shit I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was.
You got that.
Son of a bitch. You wanna watch this video?
Out.
React to clip? Here, I'll drop the link. I'm at 14 minutes 43 seconds.
Ready?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
People who are marginalized politically or otherwise. And if the
all
right
are,
wants
right?
to, and if the right wants to kind of step in it by popularizing the idea of abolish the FBI, and if that movement's going to have some kind of legs rhetorically or otherwise, if there's going to be a moment for that, why not have people who are much more knowledgeable than I, frankly, design the kinds of reforms that they think would actually be beneficial to the left? And I had some people on the podcast to try to talk about what those reforms would actually be. I think it was Alex Vitale, and then I think I spoke to also Cornel West shortly after to try to pin them on what they would advocate for in terms of substantive reforms to the FBI and whether they thought that this was a moment that the left should be pushing. And while I think that Cornel West did agree that this was something that we could politicize and take over if we wanted to, I think very few people were willing, or maybe we just hadn't put enough thought in it because it's, a new moment, into what constructively, like, or concretely rather, that would look like. But I think it's a conversation the left should be having, right? That's a conversation that people, go ahead.
That's my issue, right? Alex and Cornell aren't the people with their hands on the levers. The right is, or at least potentially could be,
Well, what do you mean by that?
I mean that right now, we talk about material conditions. The historical context of this discussion, abolish the FBI, this is not one in which we're having a level-minded conversation about the exact ways in which to reform the institution.
I agree, but that's exactly what I'm pushing for.
No, well, but hold on. But it ain't happening,
Right, but why isn't it happening, Vosh?
Well, this is the same issue I had with endorsing Biden. There isn't a third option. You've got exactly two in this case.
Well, there was a third option, and I know that because I voted for the third option.
That's so
well,
stupid,
no, in the
Pause
general
it,
election, not the primary.
Yeah.
What's
the third option?
That is some dumbass shit, bro. Yeah, the third option is throw your vote away, bro. The third option is literally fucking... Dude, voting third party and not voting is the same shit, bro. Almost.
Disagree.
Disagree? I would
Disagree.
say... Why? Because it's almost... Actually, I would almost say it's almost worse to vote third party.
Because you are voting to show your indifference but you're also actually voting for someone that you like.
Yeah, but like,
It's a 2-for-1.
I mean, like, that's like personal for you. Like, you'll feel good about what you did, but like in terms of like,
It's always fucking personal.
in terms of doing, yeah, no, but like in terms of like effectiveness, voting third party, at least right now, is fucking useless. The only thing you can
Okay,
do
but
is
okay, here's the thing.
split
Here's why that's a
votes.
bad
All
argument.
you can do is split
Because
votes.
you could just as easily say, no one's ever gonna win by one vote. My vote's meaningless, anyways, and that's like gonna be true 99.9% of the time.
I don't know if that's
So
the
are you
same.
really like you're voting to express your shit? You're not really voting because you really think that vote's gonna make the difference.
Well, see that
in the
kind of
first
that kind of depends on the state you live in too.
But not even really, dude, because you're never gonna win by one vote.
I
Election's
mean,
never gonna be decided by one vote.
yeah, I agree, but like still, it's just like such a small like third party is such a fucking. It's just so useless to me. Like I really am like if I'm gonna vote third party, I just won't vote because, like, it just doesn't feel useful.
Not voting is worse though, because then it's like, think about it like this: if you're in the voting pool, like if you vote every single time, no matter what, people are gonna try to get you to vote for them, and that's the good thing, because like,
But they're not.
hopefully people.
They're just gonna assume. It's just like they know they take my vote for granted, bro. They know I'm gonna vote blue. They know I'm not gonna vote conservative, bro. So they don't give a fuck about trying to get me to vote for them. But if I go, hey, I'm not even gonna vote, now they gotta change some shit. You know?
I don't think so. I don't think people look at apathy like that. Like I don't think it's, oh, these people didn't vote, I need to get them to vote. Like I feel like they
Well,
just
I
try
think
to
they should be
convince
looking at it
people.
like that for sure because that's how you fucking win, bro.
You're
Think
right.
about like
because,
Obama, like
yeah.
how many like when Obama ran, people fucking showed up for Obama. Then Hillary ran and they didn't fucking show up. You know what I mean?
No, man. I think third party votes are okay. I mean, it is like kind of useless in a sense, but you could say the same shit about voting like half the time, even if it's for one of the major candidates.
Oh, dude. I don't know. I just feel like I would want to vote third party. Like I always am like, dude, I wish like people actually looked at the other people on the ballot.
You wish
bro.
someone had a chance.
Yeah, I wish someone had a fucking chance, dude.
People have had chances before, but
Bro, who?
Ross Perot,
I have no idea. What election was that?
Bill Clinton,
How much of the vote did he get?
and before that, I think his big one was actually before that. It was 92. Yeah, it was that year.
How much of the vote did he get?
Let's see. %19.
See,
That's not bad though.
but it's fucking not enough.
You're right. It's not enough.
It ain't enough, dude. Why did you vote for Joe Biden instead of voting third party?
Because I thought he was gonna do good shit,
You really did.
and he was also better than Trump. I really wanted to get rid
Yeah.
of Trump.
But was he better? You see. So you were like, I can't vote third party, bro. It's a waste if I.
No,
vote
I
third
mean,
party."
if I didn't like Biden that much, I would have considered it. Or if I didn't agree with the Democrat shit, I would consider it.
All right, Hillary and Trump, would you have voted third party?
Maybe.
Maybe.
There's a much higher chance in that one. I would have strongly considered it. I probably would have still.
That's probably
voted
why
Hillary,
she
but
lost.
Honestly,
That's probably a good. If we look at the third party votes, that's probably a reason why she fucking lost, bro.
2020 was also just mad turnout.
Yeah, dude. Trump loves saying he got the most votes in any election ever. And for me, I'm like, isn't that true every new election?
Almost,
Am I
not
true?
literally
Yeah,
every single
but
one.
like
but
pretty much.
pretty
Every
close
time
to it.
there's
Yeah.
gonna be more people voting just because there's more fucking people.
Yeah. Maybe when the baby boomers start dying, maybe it goes down.
Dude,
Because they're voting, bro. They're fucking voting.
They show up more. That's why everything sucks, bro. But the other crazy thing is, young people are showing up now more than usual.
Not in Florida.
Oh yeah, not in Florida, but overall in the country, like
Yeah.
for the midterms, the huge part of the reason we didn't get as fucked as we were supposed to is because young people fucking pulled up, bro.
But it was also a good climate for, like, abortion was a big thing and fucking.
That was the only thing. Because if Republicans hadn't done that, I actually do think they probably would have.
That's what Trump said, right?
Up. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he literally came out and said that. Like,
said
blame
the-
the people who banned abortion.
Damn. Because all I heard him say was, if they win, it's because of me, and if they lose, it's not my fault. Which is such a top tier fucking quote. Can you believe that's like the real president said that?
Yeah, this was just this was earlier this month. He
In-
said this shit.
In the news. If they win, it's because of me. If they lose, it's not my fault.
This is what he said. It wasn't my fault that Republicans didn't live up to expectations in the midterm. It was the abortion issue poorly handled by many Republicans, especially those firmly insisted on no exceptions, even in the case of rape, incest, blah, blah.
Yeah, them wackos, dude.
Said it was their fault, man. And he's kind of right.
He is right, actually, on that. I mean, it's not like the only thing, but it was the big, like, it was like the first real domino that fell that started fucking them in the midterms.
People are starting to not fuck with DeSantis.
You
I
think
actually
so?
do. I think he's losing a little bit of ground to Trump.
What makes you think that?
I don't know. I just seems like DeSantis is looking a little hardcore.
I've seen some, but I think it's popular, bro. I think like that him banning that shit was popular with conservatives, and him banning all these fucking books, dude.
You're right, but
It shouldn't be
it's
popular.
becoming apparent to people that he's only doing it for popularity.
I don't think that at all.
I actually in Florida specifically, I think it's starting to
I
turn
think
a little bit.
people think he's doing it. I think most people don't think that. I think most people
I can name it 2 people that I know.
that were DeSantis supporters that now think he's
Jacob
just-
dude.
Yeah.
Jacob dude you talked to?
Yeah.
He's like changing his mind on.
Oh,
him.
that's why he
and
thinks it's.
my
he thinks it's
stepdad
like-
too.
He thinks it's just like a facade he's doing for like.
Yeah, he's doing
optics.
too much like what's it called? Like positioning.
Yeah, it's optics shit.
Yeah.
Damn it. I
And
mean
it
I
is
think
kinda
that is
silly.
what it is 100%, but I think most Republicans
most people don't
see
notice
it like
it.
that. Yeah. I wish, dude. It's so fucked, bro. They all think they see the truth and they miss it. It's like right in their face and they don't fucking. They're just like, dude.
The odds are dead even.
I don't want
between
them grooming my kids with trans ideology. What? Nikki D? What's up?
What's
sure.
up?
I'm streaming right now. Yeah, on Discord. Do you want to say hi to Nikki D?
Hi, Niggity.
Hey,
What's it good, bro?
chilling, big chilling.
I don't know why it's not working.
What the hell was that?
The game.
What are you talking about? Indoctrination?
Talking about DeSantis banning.
I was just talking to my
critical race theory.
I was just talking to my professor about all of that like today. I stayed after class.
What'd the
to talk
professor
about
say?
it. Well, she was just saying because she studies like early American literature, and she was saying that like the core principle, like when the founding fathers came together and started talking about like liberties, like the first things that they started talking about was public education, and like DeSantis is making an effort to defund public education.
Dude, he loves it.
Like you just saw that he was like giving money to, like he wants to start giving money to families to send their kids to private schools.
Like fucking tax dollars to send kids to private schools?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Vouchers. It's called vouchers.
That's wild.
Yeah, and like it's just really scary because it just goes against the core principles.
Dude,
of
imagine being in high school
what
right
our
now.
founding fathers had established.
Have you seen those videos of the libraries being like fucking cleared?
Yeah.
And there's
yeah,
like
I
empty
have.
shelves. That's so
I
wild,
just
bro.
feel like it's just really sad because I feel like if a lot of these people who are like, oh, well, gun rights are in our Constitution, if they took a second and be like, wow, public education is in our Constitution, like, I just wish it was so much more of a threat to the GOP as it's, like, it just seemingly
Yeah.
isn't.
Well, if you're uneducated, bro, you don't give a fuck about education.
Yeah. That's true.
Dude.
It's just like, it's like becoming the enemy. Enlightenment and, like, and the thing is, like, I'm learning critical race theory in, like, English right now. Like,
Oh
I'm
my
literally
God, you're
learning-
being indoctrinated.
I'm reading Marxism. I'm reading English. Or I'm reading CRT. I studied CRT last semester.
You need to
and
read
it's
some
like-
Ayn Rand.
I've never walked away with some type of white guilt that makes me like cry.
Have
know
you
what I
have
mean?
you been in that class though and heard anything and been like, okay, that kind of sounds like bullshit?
No, I mean I'm
Or
literally.
you like
just,
everything in there? You're like, this is all.
I'm studying
solid?
history. Like it's all just history that I'm reading. It's not necessarily. I mean I haven't really gotten to theories yet, but at the same time, theories that I have been presented with aren't presented as inherent truths, and neither of my professors have never asked us like necessarily do you agree with this fundamentally, more so do you agree with this author's take and like what's your critique on it. And it's just been to engage in a conversation.
Have you?
Like
do
you're
you,
never going to be marked down, at least with my educators,
Right.
for having differing opinions.
Do you? Are there takes you've heard that you're like, that take is crazy, or do you think all the
Um,
takes are like justified
I'm trying to think.
and fucking?
Honestly, like nothing really seems that radical, like the things that we've studied. Like because also a lot of the things that we've studied are from like you know, black authors or whatever that were in a time where being that radical, like the way that people are so freely talking today would have like and
You get
had
shot.
gotten them shot, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like
yeah.
hate crimed or whatever. So it's not anything like crazy, and at the same time, yeah, I don't know. Though the people that were radical back then led the movement, and it doesn't seem as intense as today's radicals. And that's just also a total thing that's lost when people talk about this.
But I feel like that's just because like what was radical then is just like regular now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you just got something to say.
Gigi's super racist. Gigi's like, dude, everything's.
She's
She's
a
like, it's worse
femcel.
for white people,
She's a
actually.
femcel,
Yeah.
actually.
Dude, she is a femcel. Dude, are you still there, Nikki?
Of course.
Okay.
I heard everything.
All right, bet. Gigi's a femcel, dude. Can you believe it? She's
She'll
a
never
hater.
get any play.
Dude,
Poor
they
cat.
took away an AP class, bro. All the motherfuckers trying to get into college are fucked, bro.
Yeah, right.
But that's also crazy to me because like I've never been forced to take an AP class, so the kids that do want to take
That's why it's an
like,
elective.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to get rid of an
And then
elective.
I was reading what they wanted to like, what their critique about it was, and like they said for like the modern things that they were going to touch on in the class, like today's cultural events that they wanted to talk about, were from an author. Like their main issue was with an author who had previously said something pro-communist because he was writing about like this communist revolution in Alabama that was not just really financial.
Communist revolution in Alabama.
But that was their name.
That's where the term redneck comes from.
That's where
What?
That's where like they were. It was like for civil liberties though. It wasn't really more so financial in like today's definition of communism.
It was for civil liberties. It wasn't really monetary shit, economic shit.
They were fighting for equality between like they were civil rights pioneers.
They were like, we want schools.
Yeah, they wanted
And
like
shit.
they wanted like natural liberties
Right.
that people they weren't being granted, and they
That's crazy.
but it didn't even specify if that book was actually even going to be taught or not, because he has like a couple of books.
He's nobody's banned more books than this free speech lover.
And anyway, it could be that they're not even going to study his whole book. It could just be quotes that are in a textbook from him, or just like a
like a
did not
photo with a little
specify
caption.
Anything like that. It was just so like half-assed. Like, well, he
Dude.
said this before. Like,
We're saying it's just all optics, bro. He just wants to look like he's been owning libs the whole time.
yeah.
So he can run for president.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to be as aggressive as possible so his name stays in the media. And I was talking to my professor today,
and Sophia Maya was actually with me because she's in this class with me. And Sophia was saying, like, she was comparing him to Trump, and I was like, I actually think he's, like, scarier. Like, he's actually...
He's competent.
My
That's the problem.
Yeah, my professor was like, well, he's actually intelligent.
Yeah,
like,
he can get things done if he wants to.
Like, everything that he's doing, it seems like a reactionary, like uneducated thing, but it's actually just really well thought out and honestly insidious.
It's
like,
just planned.
insidious.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's like trolling as a real politician, and it's but like people think he's being serious and they love it, dude.
Like, there's nothing more indoctrinating than forcing people to have their only option be private education.
Dude.
Under a religious principle.
That's
like
crazy.
That's indoctrination.
So crazy.
They're redefining.
Wait, nobody wants to do that, do they?
Well, public education tends to align with some type of religion in Florida, at least. Like, all of the public school or private schools in Tampa were either like Christian or Baptist.
The
or Catholic.
private schools, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I only know like one private school that's not religious.
For example, Nikki, when he just replaced a lot of staff at the new college, they're all like prominent alt-right people with like specialties in Christianity. Like, they're all like prominent Christians.
He staffed a school? What?
Yeah, he replaced the entire like staff with Christian, and he's like firing people.
What school?
The new college.
What the fuck is that? Is that some just weird private school?
It's a private college. It's a private liberal arts
That
college.
DeSantis gets the staff?
Yeah, he
What
replaced,
the fuck?
like, he appointed a new staff, and then the higher ups fired everybody, and then replaced them with like religious educators.
Dude, that's so wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's so fucking wild.
Which, like, that's indoctrination. Like,
Yes,
you're not allowing
that's what they don't
people-
get, bro.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid, bro.
Like, they're redefining these trigger words to fit their own agenda.
Socialism doesn't mean nothing, bro.
Literally, communism doesn't mean nothing. Socialism doesn't mean anything. It's
Dude.
all just scary. It's the red scare.
Alex, bro, soon as you say anything remotely like about socialism, he's like, bro, I do not want socialism. Like,
It's because you're Latino in Fort Lauderdale.
dude, facts. And he has money.
Yeah, exactly.
Love Alex. Shouts out Alex.
Alex
But
is
yeah,
a genius.
they're crazy,
He's a
bro.
freedom thinker.
Dude, dude, he's not a bot, bro. He's not controlled like we are. You're the one getting indoctrinated.
Yeah.
You're the one who's getting fucking.
I'm deep state Bella.
You'll never be happy, dude. You're supposed to want to have kids and take care of the house,
Yeah,
Bella.
exactly. Exactly.
You're gonna be miserable with a career. You know what I mean?
But it's just also crazy because, like, I'm taking this class called Early American Women's Words, and like this, like
Early
whole-
American women's words.
Yes, I'm studying like Puritan like women's poetry and like poetry from like early slaves and stuff like that. But
Whoa.
what was I gonna say? A lot of the reason why men didn't want women to write is because, or when women were
Because
able
they start
to
having ideas.
Well, yeah, when women were able to start writing, I was reading a text today, like 2 different texts where they were saying like, women who are educated should be writing about Puritan values and nothing pious and
That's correct.
yeah, and it's just like they just didn't want freedom thinkers, and it's like it's so obvious that like why is education being like the opposite end of enlightenment? You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Dude, but
how is this
it's the
tactic
opposite end
working?
of enlightenment, but then they sell it as enlightenment.
Yeah.
They tell you it's enlightenment. They're like, this is the truth, dude.
Yeah. I've never ever been like my professors. Like I just feel like it's an oxymoron to assume that these well-read professors, at least in my department, who are so well-read in all these separate schools of theory and stuff, and like it's impossible for them to stray from the ethicalness that they have, like that they are upholding, that are in these texts. You know what I mean? Like, like they're reading about not just Marxism but also history and the way that certain texts have been manipulated to the masses and stuff. So they're never like, when they're this well read, they're never gonna use that. Like it's they're what did I say to Jenna earlier?
Dude, we need to get your professor on my stream.
Okay, so I think that being so well read in these theories and schools of thought leaves no room for unethical ulterior motives such as the so-called indoctrination. Like it just feels like an oxymoron. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like, I feel like they're just the least likely to want to be use us for ulterior motives when they're just they read about the consequences of doing such. You know what I mean? And also just having so many different like schools of theory to read about. Like, it's like, how do you just pick one and then choose to brainwash your students? Why are you an educator?
It's
if
so
that's
weird.
Your only goal?
It's
That's
so
not a
weird
thing.
to like ban a theory in school. It's like you should be getting you should be taking classes on like racism, on like from like a conservative professor that's like, nah, dude, like,
Yeah.
fuck critical race theory for real, like academically.
Yeah.
Just to see what the fuck they gotta say.
And like when I was reading, when I took a class last semester called Harlem, Haiti, and Havana, and so we're studying like we read up on Nicholas Gulen, I can't say his name, but he was a founder of a communist revolution in Cuba and stuff. And we read his stuff, and then we read like other people who opposed his works and like replies between the two, like exchanges and stuff. And my professor was never like, now talk about why he's right. Like, it was never that. We were just analyzing the like methods that he used to convey his
Right.
point and stuff like that. You know
That's how
what
it's
I mean?
supposed to be.
Yeah.
But not anymore. I blew it. Oh.
I mean, that's how it is. I just don't know why that's like why they're just.
Is he banning it in colleges or just high schools?
He's probably working on getting it out of colleges.
Banded it, yeah, he's working on getting it out of colleges. Like, certain things are not allowed to be taught in, or he's attempting to not allow them to be taught in schools. But what he's doing, it's not necessarily legal to like outright ban these things. Like, it's going to be challenged, and like it's a First Amendment violation. But what he's doing is threatening funding, and that's what's happening. Like, schools are feeling like
For schools who teach it?
yeah, like
They lose
schools who
money?
teach it, like
Damn.
it's not just CRT. It's
See, that's what I'm saying. He's smart, bro. He's
it's
not
like-
just like, no more of that. He's like, I'm just gonna take
it's
away
not,
the money.
Yeah, but it's not just CRT. Like, it's diversity programs. It's like the Queer Alliance on campus and stuff like that. Like, any professors.
He's trying to get
involved in
rid of
that.
What?
It's crazy.
That's wild.
It's
Yeah.
grooming, bro. But if you take your
And he's asking
son
for
to Hooters,
names.
it ain't.
He's asking for names of professors.
I
who
heard
are
about that.
involved in
He's
it.
like snitch, right?
And they have no obligation to do so, but they're scared to not comply because
They'll
so
lose
much of
money.
the funding decision is up to
Yeah.
that, and like we rely on the funding. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Like, we rely on these grants.
Those loans need to. Yes, exactly. It's all business, bro. It's
Bill
so
Garrett's
fucked.
microphone.
What?
Get on Discord.
He's in a
Let's hear Garrett's take on this.
he's actually in a school meeting right now.
Garrett?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
He's probably in the meeting where they're banning.
Yeah,
He's like, I need Bella to stop talking about this.
That's his only agenda. I need my girlfriend to shut the hell up.
Yeah. He's like, I got her off TikTok, but it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, Nikki, I deleted TikTok.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud.
I deleted it like right after.
Did he delete it yet?
No, but his For You page is like
Yeah,
nothing
nah,
political. It's like entirely just
It's
fragments.
Facebook memes.
Yeah. So it's like it's fine.
Dude, if you start seeing Andrew Tate or some shit
Yeah.
pop up,
You know, when I deleted it, the video that made me delete it was the video that you ended up texting me about, Nikki, like the perfectly non-offensive video about like the quality of life in like Amsterdam or whatever. And then somebody was like, "Fuck you! I love Ohio. I love walking an hour both ways to Walmart, and almost getting hit by 3 cars." And I was like, "I just can't."
that had to be a
nobody-
bait.
I remember you talking about that, yeah.
That could not have been serious. that
Well-
person was fucking joking. No way.
No, it wasn't worded like that. I'm just being funny. But
oh.
they were offended about somebody being like, "Amsterdam is so nice."
That's so yeah, dude. People get
I was
so
like,
butthurt.
I can't. Like, democracy's dead.
Dude, what we
Free
need to do
thinking is dead.
is every fucking not true at all. But what we need to do is send everybody out of the country for like 2 months or some shit, bro. Just enough to like appreciate somewhere like walkable.
Yeah.
With healthcare.
And like the beauty and the quality of life.
Yeah.
And not being stuck in traffic.
Like I have a friend
every single day.
who's in Spain right now, and she's like, "Yeah, it's so different here." I'm like, "Yeah, because everybody's not fucking hustling all the
Yeah.
time. Like they're just trying to enjoy the day."
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Anyway,
Basically, your degree is bullshit.
Yeah.
Get a STEM degree, okay? Jesus.
Yeah, if you want to die,
If you want to die.
die.
And then if I ask Bella later, can I repost that on YouTube? She's gonna be like, "Nope,
Hell
I don't want
no.
to be online." She gonna hit it with that. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. DeSantis is.
No, it's definitely messed up what he's doing, but it's I don't know, man.
I mean, yeah, it's just like. That's why you can't vote third party, dude. You gotta vote for the guy who's still shitty but won't do that. You know.
True. Base.
Still shitty but won't do this shitty shit. You know who I was watching that I'm like, damn, this guy's actually onto some shit. Fucking Cenk Uygur, Hassan's uncle, dude.
Yeah, I've seen that guy. He knows his shit.
I watched him on there's this podcast. It's called like the PDB podcast or some shit. It's some random ass dude. I have no idea who this guy is, but Destiny was on it. That's how I found out about it.
Uh-huh.
And Destiny but there was another episode with Cenk, and I watched that, and I was like, damn, like, how the fuck do he and Hassan disagree on shit? Like, everything he was saying, I'm like, Hassan would say a lot of this.
Him and who? Cenk?
Hassan and Cenk.
Yeah.
Because I guess...
I didn't know they disagreed that much.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen them have, like, discussions on Hassan's stream.
I've never seen that.
But, like Cenk still says he's a capitalist. He doesn't say he's not a capitalist. Which is low-key where I'm at. Like, I don't really call myself a socialist or anything.
Dude, socialism's fucking dumb. Just vote for good social programs.
Exactly. Literally, it's like we need capitalism, but then there's a few sectors of life where it's like we
fix
can't
healthcare, fix fucking a couple other things.
housing
and
and shit. Yeah, wages. And
maybe
whatever.
education a little more.
Exactly.
That shit.
Those are a few things that don't need capitalism involved. But then, like, basically everything else could be capitalism. But
Honestly.
we're like regulated, like, so they don't fucking. So it's not just companies fucking scamming us all day, every day, bro.
That's not what it is, bro. No one's scamming you.
Bro, you don't think these companies are price gouging, bro? They're not
Which
taking
ones?
advantage of the big ones, Walmart and like all of them, bro. Grocery stores.
No, I don't. I don't
You think
they-
eggs are only expensive because of fucking
the supply of eggs
supply
has
chain
diminished.
and the
Yeah,
flu? That's the only. You think that's the only reason? Because
I absolutely do. Because it only costs
you
what
got a
people are
blind
willing
spot,
to pay
bro.
for it.
I hate you.
It
I hate
only
you just
costs
said
what
that.
people are willing to pay for it.
But it's not because when it comes to things like eggs, bro, food and shit, it's not about what you're willing to pay for. It's about
Yes, it is. Yes, it does, bro.
I have to eat,
Dude,
I
if
gotta
the price
eat.
of one shit doubles, you can just buy the other shit. Yes, everything's gone up, but just because eggs go up doesn't mean you have to buy eggs. You could switch to something else.
All right, but it's not like okay. Well, I'm not saying that eggs is the only fucking thing, bro. All groceries are fucking more expensive right now, bro.
All groceries are like that though. Like there's no grocery you literally have to get. I mean, milk sort of, but I don't buy milk when I go to the fucking grocery store. Sometimes I get almond milk.
Dude.
Rarely.
All right, but like chicken, bro, like meat, like fucking like what do you mean, bro? Food is a like inelastic good. Same with like houses. Like it doesn't matter how expensive houses get, people still need fucking houses. That's why they'll just pay for ridiculous.
But it's not elastic in that sense because it is replaceable. Any one piece of food
Bro.
is replaceable.
Yeah, but it's replaceable
Food
by
as a
what?
whole
You don't
is
get eggs, but now
unreplaceable.
you get ramen, dude. Now you're fucking up your health, dude. Cause
You don't have to get ramen. You can get something else.
I hate you. You're being so fucking.
Dude,
annoying.
is that not how it is though?
Dude, is that not how? Just quit and get another job if your job sucks. This
Well,
is you right
hopefully
now.
you can lock down another one before you quit. But yeah,
Dude, I just don't think it's that simple, bro. Oh, eggs are expensive, so I guess I'm just gonna eat oatmeal now. Like, that's how we.
No, I mean,
that's
obviously the cost of
society you wanna
everything
build, bro. That's how the world
obviously
you
the
wanna
cost
live
of
in.
everything has gone up. But you were trying to say that eggs are a necessity, so it's like they could jack
Well,
the
I was
price
saying
up as much
eggs.
as they want.
I was using eggs as like a fucking catch-all term for food, bro. Like, if the price of food goes up, it's not like people can be like, we're just not gonna eat.
You're right, absolutely right.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like they can get away with jacking the price of shit up.
Who can get away with it?
Dude, these fucking companies, bro. Walmart, goddamn Publix, Walgreens, whatever the fuck. All of them, bro. You gotta watch the soccer
they-
video on eggs, bro, because he went through it. And he was like,
But they're not just raising the price. There is an actual shortage of eggs going on,
Yes,
is there not?
but yes. Well, actually, I think it was like a bird flu was going through some hen houses or whatever the fuck.
So once that shit dies down,
But no,
they'll go back on.
no. But like what I'm saying is these companies use that as an excuse. Like they jack it up more than they would need to if it was just that.
Same thing okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Maybe certain food processors that, like Tyson, maybe. I don't know
I would
enough
say
about.
basically most of them. Like
I think that there's like a big four of
Yeah,
fucking food,
think
isn't
you're
there?
right.
Maybe they're doing some shit. That could totally be possible.
that
But
is possible. And it is
that's
true.
not the only, like there's still mad farmers in the United States that like could price their shit however they want. But they're trying to make as much money as they can just because that's what they do for a living. So they're pricing it at the amount their
Yeah.
vendors will buy it for, right?
Right.
And that's where a lot of the food in the United States comes from, is from farmers.
Yes.
So yes, maybe some companies are jacking up prices a little bit too much, but it's not like that's the only thing that goes into the price you end up
Oh,
having
it's
to
not.
pay.
It's not. But that's like the fucked part about it. Like it's one thing if like if this is supply chain and prices go up, that fucking makes sense. But then these companies turn around and are like, we're actually just gonna keep bumping it up, and we're just gonna keep saying it's inflation.
But like who though? Is gas doing that? No. That's what you said. That's what
Gas-
people said.
Gas could definitely be lower price, bro.
No, it couldn't, bro.
Yeah, just charge less, dude.
You know how much gas we use in America? A fuckload.
It's a fuckload of gas, but it could still be cheaper.
We make a fuckload too. Imagine if we lived in a country that didn't produce gas.
Yeah,
Then we'd be really fucked.
their
That's
gas
where
is
these people are paying
outrageous, bro.
10
Yeah,
fucking dollars a gallon.
psychotic shit, dude. But you think it couldn't possibly be lower than $10? Is that what you think?
What do you mean by couldn't possibly be lower than $10?
Like it due to fucking Russia and all whatever factors outside of our control, it has to be $10. It cannot be $1 cheaper, we won't make a cent. Like that's not the case. You know what I mean? They could
Okay,
lower
I
the
sort
price and
of
still
get what
turn
you're
a
saying,
profit.
but that would require oil companies to take a hit. Not like a hit in the
Yeah,
sense
they
that
have to
they're
make
just
less
straight up
money.
losing money.
They have to make less money. Yep, and that's what
I
I'm
don't think
advocating
they
for.
can do it without losing money, not just making
I
less money.
disagree. I don't think that's true at all. I think they could for sure just make less money and still be good. Dude, fuck this video. We're watching a different one. A Sagar video.
I'm just gonna look up.
Look up Sagar's
Shit.
like egg video, bro. He did a video about this. Like a day or two ago.
Sagar eggs.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
I'm-
One of the
5
reasons
minutes,
that
30
gas
seconds.
prices-
Is that the one?
yeah. Yeah.
I got it up.
All right, Bev, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
You get it.
matter politically is the simple fact that most Americans just drive past it on a day-to-day basis. You drive one day, you see the price go up, you do it every single day for a month, you pull in, you see a bill higher, then you just say, what the hell's going on in this country? It's a relatively inelastic product. Most of us need it on a regular basis. It's very difficult to adjust to when you see even massive increases in price. But gas, it's not the only product that's doing that. So is the grocery store. And while we focus a lot on the grocery store bills in the aggregate, let's zoom in on something that a lot of you have taken notice of. Eggs. Eggs are interesting. Most Americans buy them on a weekly basis. In fact, the average American consumes nearly 300 eggs per year. And actually, the amount of eggs that we eat has significantly gone up in the last few years to the highest level in over 50 years. Eggs are and have always been an important part of the American diet, from its inclusion in baked goods to the quintessential breakfast, which is why the price increase over the last few years or so has been so devastating to a lot of households, and shocking. As you can see in the chart before you, before the pandemic, eggs were roughly the same price as the 1980s. There was minor price movement in 2015, but by and large, it was like a reliable, stable product. Relative productivity increases in the egg industry actually kept the price down over time. It's part of why Americans could be so reliant on eggs as a cheap way to feed their families. That is, of course, until 2022 and now 2023. As the chart shows, the national retail price of eggs is over $4 a dozen, when just a year ago it was $1.79. What accounts for a 200% increase in the
Crazy.
price of eggs? Well, if you ask the egg industry, they will tell you
Let's
bird
see
flu.
what it counts for. He still
Seems
hasn't
simple
said it.
though, right? A historic bird flu outbreak that is killing hens means less supply while demand is high, hence the price. But is that everything?
That's
Okay,
what you were
hold
saying.
on. Pause,
That's what,
pause,
yeah,
pause.
that's what you were
for-
saying, right?
Pause for a second.
Yeah, that's what you were
Pause for a
saying,
second.
right? Yeah.
Now let's
pause.
rewind just like 30. Let's go back to where you had the chart up real quick.
Appear to be
real
the
quick.
case.
Back to the chart.
Okay. You see the chart where the
A
shit
historic
just goes
bird
way
flu-
up.
that's the egg.
Give me a
What
sec, give me a sec.
overdue
Let me
in
get back to the
industry
chart.
was like a
Yeah. All right. What'd you say?
Okay, you're looking at the chart.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what he's saying. He's about to say, right? He's gonna say, "Oh, companies are just gonna keep the prices high now, even after they get the supply back under control." Well, let's look at what happened in 2015, because it looks like some shit happened there where demand for eggs went up, or there's another bird flu or something, and prices went way up, right? To like, what'd that go from $2 to $3? That's a 50% jump, right? In like a
Yeah.
year or two.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened afterwards? That shit went right back down.
I'm not saying it's
So-
never gonna
so-
go down, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is the reason that it's going up right now in 2020, 2023, 2020 is due to more than just like the
People buying more
flu-
eggs?
Yeah, the flu and shit. Like he's literally about to explain it. 'Cause-
Okay, yeah, back to 150 or whatever.
Cause he was saying what you're saying, right? You were like, look, the flu is there. There's less hens to make eggs, and the price goes up.
And then afterwards, it should come back to earth.
Yeah.
of reliable,
Eggs aren't
stable,
just gonna
stable
go
product.
parabolic forever. They're not just gonna go straight up.
Yes. All right. What time were we at?
Oh,
Well,
I'm
I
at
mean-
148.
148. Okay. Bet. Ready?
Set, go.
Nice. But is that everything that's going on? If you read deeper, it doesn't really appear to be the case. While bird flu is definitely bad, the total flock size of egg layers across the country has actually only gone down by 4 to 5%. A 4 to 5% reduction in the number of hens laying eggs does not even come close to explaining that price increase. In fact, the largest U.S. producer of eggs, Cal-Maine Foods, is the perfect illustration. Last month, it reported its overall sale dollar volume rose to nearly $1 billion over the last quarter, helping it generate $198 million in profit. So how much profit did they make the year before? Well, it was $1 million. So are you starting to get the picture? You have a 200% increase in the price, and then you have a 200% increase in profit. Interesting, but it's bird flu. That's the largest egg producer, though, to be fair. It hasn't been so easy for egg producers in the last year or so. The Russian invasion of Ukraine and the subsequent sanctions on the Russian economy have actually pushed grain prices to sky-high levels, leading to an immense increase in the cost for egg producers to feed their hens. When you add on top the immense amount of petroleum product needed for transportation, farm equipment, natural gas, and all of that redirected into refrigeration, and you get the result of what we have right now. Really bad news is that while prices appear to be receding from their December high, that's peak egg demand during the holidays, the price effect is actually still being felt heartily at the grocery store. Worse, we are beginning to see the same thing that we did with gas at $5 a gallon. When gas got to the highest point in modern history, people just started driving a lot less, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. They stopped going out to eat, reduced their lifestyle, they were just more miserable, reduced their savings. Same thing's happening right now with eggs. Putting aside the 1990s idiotic thinking about cholesterol, eggs are actually very good for you. They're relatively fresh, natural, and a complete protein. Filling, there's a reason that a lot of people eat them for breakfast. But as egg prices increase and people adjust, they're naturally gonna reduce their consumption of food in favor of what is cheap. What's cheap? You already know. Processed, fast food, anything instant. It's probably processed as hell, designed to be hyper-palatable, more likely to be less nutritious. What says cheap in bad times versus what gets expensive actually tells you a lot about society and what it's designed for. The simple truth appears to be we are designed to make sure the lowest common denominator of price is the least nutritious. Thus, the poorest and most vulnerable amongst us are pushed to process food. At the outbreak of COVID, I actually had a lot of hope. Come together as we did in previous national crises. Wake up to our lack of resilience. The fact that we don't make anything here anymore. Our hyper-concentrated economy designed for just-in-time and not for the flourishing of our people. But we didn't wake up to any of that. We didn't get good leadership under Trump or Biden. We're just left to fend for ourselves. That's why people are so angry right now. They're not stupid. They know what's going on is not right. It's just that nobody is looking to actually do anything about it. It's really frustrating. That's the interesting thing about eggs. I love that statistic where they're like, yeah.
Hey guys, ready or not,
Okay.
2024 is fully.
He made some good points, but I feel like
See? We're not done, bro. Other shit's going on besides just, oh, it's harder to make eggs right now. Which it is. That's not everything.
But I feel like when he was saying about the company, oh, they had a 200% increase in eggs, like crazy, right?
It's nuts.
And 200% in their profits, and he's like, oh, that's a gotcha. Like, obviously, the profit's going up too. It's not just the cost of the eggs,
Yeah.
which is fair. But at the same time, imagine with computer chips. Like, Ford, I think, had an issue with their factory where they like just couldn't produce shit because they didn't have the chips, right?
Okay.
Let's just hypothetically say that there were only like a few other car companies and there weren't like fucking 20 like there are. If it was like that, other car companies would have way more demand for their cars, the other two. So it would make sense that the price would go up because they can't produce enough cars to fucking give to everybody.
Bro, you're such a working class Andy, bro.
Bro, it literally is logical, is it not?
Say it again. It's logical to what?
Any industry where you have a few companies that make a lot of the shit.
Yeah.
If one of them is having like serious issues and they can't produce what they're producing, then there's only fucking two.
The other ones get greedy. And it's a
They don't
problem.
get greedy though. They get swamped because all the people who were buying from them go to the other two companies.
Yeah, but exactly. And then
And
they're
that
like,
causes issues. That's
we
not a
can make
seamless
more
transition. They
money.
can't just sell more. They can't just produce more. In some cases they could. It depends on what we're talking about, but in any case, they can't just make 5 more factories overnight.
True. But it doesn't mean they have to raise the price.
It sort of does though.
It kind of, I mean, why not just sell out? Just sell out of what you have and then you go, that's it.
Dude, if we were going to the grocery store and there were no eggs there, people would literally riot in the streets.
Hey, man.
So they increased the price instead.
So just stop poor people from getting eggs so we don't run out of eggs.
Pretty much.
And you're okay with this?
I mean, that's basically capitalism versus socialism right there.
I guess so.
Because the government would make sure everyone fucking gets eggs until they can't. Because there's none left.
Yeah. Depending on what we're talking about, that seems like the better option to me than just like, oh, I guess poor people could get fucked, you know? Because there's not
Yeah, I mean,
enough.
that's true. Prices going up hits them the worst. And it is sad that people are forced into eating processed foods. That's actually really sad.
Right?
It is very
dude.
sad.
It's fucked, bro. What we need to do, Nikki D, is invest in some chickens.
That's actually true.
I think chickens are.
But I feel like you can still eat healthy though. Dude,
Ah,
like fucking,
like
there
what?
are healthy alternatives to eggs.
That are cheap.
Lentils,
Like what?
lentils.
Bro, don't be talking. Don't even come out in this Discord talking about lentils.
What about them?
They're fine.
You hating on
Lentils
lentils?
are fine. Lentils are fine. I come on. You want to live off lentils, bro? Hell no.
It's fucking but
I'm living off red meat, bitch.
better than rice.
You rather have lentils than rice?
Yeah, there's a little bit more substance in there.
Oh, you mean like in terms of nutrition?
Yeah.
But in terms of just like raw, what would you rather eat? Would you rather eat lentils or rice?
Well, I'd rather eat processed foods, but that's the worst shit for you.
Terrible, bro. Terrible.
Extremely.
I'm gonna live off string cheese. That's just me though.
I'm just gonna keep buying eggs, dude. I don't give a fuck.
I bought eggs today. They were like five.
Yeah.
Something. It was like 5 something. I was like, this is crazy.
Big baller. For a dozen or what?
Yeah, for a dozen.
How many eggs you make at a time? 3?
Yeah.
Okay,
3.
that's normal.
3 at a time with my avocado toast.
So that's still not that bad.
Compared
what,
to,
$5
like,
bucks for
compared
4
to-
meals?
Compared to it used to be like $1 something, $2, bro.
You're right.
It's a little bump, dude. And I'm not
Okay,
even,
it wasn't $1 something in a fat minute.
Dude, have eggs been $5 for so long?
I'm
Honestly,
looking at
like,
the chart.
I'm so bad at looking at the price because I'm just
That
like,
chart, eggs hit $2 in 2008 ish.
that's the last time it was $2.
Maybe a little. It hit, then it came back down, but by the time it hit like 2015, it's actually been all over the place, honestly.
Eggs be fluctuating,
Fucking
dude.
egg prices.
These chickens, man. I'm telling you, we just gotta get our own chickens, and we'll live lavish, bro. Fuck, I fucked myself.
Dude, Joe's got his own chickens.
Dude, Zach had his own chickens. Ezra's brother.
No way.
He had some chickens for a bit. I don't know what happened to him.
That's sick, honestly.
Dude, he literally had some chickens in his little backyard, bro. Imagine, dude, free eggs forever.
Bro, you know who Von Miller is?
No.
He's like a NFL player, but he's got a farm and he has like mad chickens. He like runs a whole ass farm and he's like, yeah, my chickens live good. They only have one bad day.
They only have one bad day.
One bad day.
Dude, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
We got one bad day, dude.
That's how you gotta treat them.
It's what you gotta do, bro. Some chickens, and then what else? Like a pig? What other animal? If you had a goat, probably, right?
Lamb. Yeah, goat.
A goat and some chickens, and you can survive.
Maybe a cow too.
I don't think you need a cow if you have chickens and the goat. What do you need the cow like for milk?
Dude, damn ribs.
Get goat milk.
I guess you can make pig
Yeah, but
ribs.
if you have one, you have to have like, the thing is you have to have a couple chickens because you gotta get them to hatch eggs, and you gotta let some of the eggs hatch so you can like replace the chickens.
Dude, if I just had like 10 chickens, dude, I could live my whole life.
Right?
Just eating eggs the whole fucking time.
I would do that.
No, it's
too.
probably more than that. How often do they lay eggs?
That's a good question. I do not know it.
One egg a day?
Damn.
Bro, I might not. Yeah, 10.
So
I'm
you-
chilling.
Yeah, literally. 10 chickens, you're fucking chilling, dude. You'd have so many eggs.
A lot of
actually.
fucking eggs.
And I think it costs like nothing to feed chickens, dude. The chicken feed. I'm about to eat
Yeah,
that
no, that'd be
instead of
chilling.
buying eggs, dude. This shit's cheaper than eggs. Chicken feed.
Dude, animal food, you gotta be able to eat it. Yeah, it's safe to eat. Fuck
Right?
it.
It has to be safe to eat the food that chickens eat because you do eat it in a way, you know?
No, I mean, I think some places have done some bad shit. There was just one place that was feeding their cows Skittles.
That's fucking hilarious. Skittles, dude.
Yeah, I,
I
think
mean,
they had an
there's-
under the table deal with the Skittle factory.
There's
They-
definitely some horrible practices. I mean, like, they literally make chickens, like, way fatter than they're supposed to, or, like, turkeys, too. Like, to the point where the turkey can't really walk or any, like, it's not even, can't even live, dude. It's just a fat turkey. Shit's crazy, dude. Fucking eggs.
Yeah, dude. Okay, there was a crash, and like a semi spilled a fucking whole truck of Skittles. And people were like, "Oh, this was for cattle." I think it's alleged. I don't think it's confirmed.
How would they
They didn't have the standard letter S on it, so they think that the factory was giving them the default
That's
Skittles
so funny. A whole bunch of defective Skittles.
in Wisconsin.
Now, see, now that you said it's in Wisconsin, I believe it. I believe that happened in Wisconsin. Dude, that can't be good for the cow at all. Or for whoever eats the fucking cow meat that cow produces. Dude, you know when you eat like a McDonald's burger or something? And like a single burger, it's like fucking hundreds of cows?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is it a burger or what'd you say?
Yeah, like if you eat like a McDonald's burger, like the burger.
Not that crazy.
The burger is like, You don't think that's crazy?
Well, you got to factor in the bun's probably like at least 75.
Wait, what are you
The
talking
cheese is
about?
probably 50.
No. What do you mean? 50 cows?
Yeah.
So what do you? How do cows don't make buns? What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you said calories.
No.
You said
Cows, yeah.
Oh.
In a burger, it's like the meat of fucking hundreds of cows in
Well,
one
they probably
patty.
mix all that shit up, do they?
Yeah, exactly. They just.
I guess that makes sense.
But it's kind of fucking gross.
Eh.
You don't think that's bad, dude?
Well, think about it. If you just got a bad cow, now you only got a little bit of that bad cow.
Ah, no, you're thinking of it the wrong
That was
way.
eating Skittles.
If you
No?
if you have a bad cow, now all of a sudden there's a bad
Contaminated
cow.
flesh?
Yeah, it contaminates the whole fucking thing, dude.
That might be true too. I don't really know. I honestly don't know which one would be better, averaging it out or fucking whichever cow
I'm sure
you get. I don't
depending-
know which one would be
Depending
worse.
on like the disease or whatever the cow had,
Yeah.
it's either if like if it might be like a thing where it doesn't even you don't even need that much of it for it to be bad, you know? Like if the cow has 2% AIDS, it's pretty bad. Not as bad as
Very bad.
98% AIDS, but still pretty bad, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if that's like actually why they do it. Like, do they do it to make the risk lower, or is it just easier?
I'm sure they do it
more
only to
efficient?
save money. I guarantee
Only to save money?
you they do it only to save money, bro. They will do whatever's the cheapest. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, McDonald's got to be like a fucking cheap-ass food or it's fucked, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Imagine, like, paying $10 for a burger at McDonald's.
Dude, they've upped their prices. I'm telling you
The
that.
combos have gotten expensive for sure, bro.
Yeah.
I got a combo. I'm like, I might as well have gone to a regular restaurant.
Well, you need the fucking code, bro, or don't even go.
The code?
You gotta have the app on
Oh,
your
the
phone,
app.
bro.
Get the
That
free-
saves so much. Dude,
free
buy one
medium
McDouble,
fries.
get one
Yeah,
free?
the
Are you
app-
kidding me?
The app is pretty clutch. I'm so bad at using like rewards apps, dude. I'm so bad at using them. Like,
I'm bad with certain places, but with McDonald's is like, I'm not going there if I ain't using the app, bro.
I mean, I barely go to McDonald's.
Me too. Me too.
I just found out deli meats are apparently really fucking bad for you. Like
Which
it's-
ones? All of them?
Yeah, it's just deli meats because they're like too processed. And apparently there's a thing where there's like an uptick in people in their 20s and 30s getting colon cancer. It's been like increasing. And it's because of fucking processed meats and deli meats. Dude,
Well, that makes a lot of sense. People are eating like shit.
Yeah. And so now they're getting colon cancer way younger. And it's one of those things was like the colonoscopy to see if you have colon cancer or whatever. Like a lot of insurance companies won't even want to pay for that until you're 45.
Really? That's fucked.
Because that's like, because supposedly that's like the age where you start having like the risk of it.
No. Won't insurance doesn't cover an endoscopy?
The colonoscopy, it won't. Like, I was reading this on Twitter.
Uh huh.
And there motherfuckers were saying like, nah, no, like people in their 20s and 30s, like you have to like really fucking fight your insurance company for them to cover that shit.
That's really
It's
annoying.
really fucking. Yeah, it's fucking terrible, bro. But now I'm like, fuck, dude, I eat pub subs so often. Like,
Pub subs are gonna be fine, bro.
dude, it's the deli meats, bro.
Nah, the deli meats will be fine, bro. People that fucking really get colon cancer are probably eating way worse than that.
I mean, probably it's the.
It's still pretty rare, I think. I'm sure it's increased, but it's still pretty rare to get at that young of an age.
But I think it's increasing now.
Yeah, but by how much? Like, if it doubled, what did it start at? You know what I mean? Like, what's the average age of someone with colon cancer? It's fucking 68 to 72.
Well, yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying is that number is starting to change. That number is going to go down. Yale medicine doctors warn people as young as 20 need to be aware of the warnings, bro.
As young as 20?
Yeah.
That's fear mongering. I don't care, bro. 20 cancer is never gonna happen.
This is
like
Yale.
it's
First of all,
very, very rare for
it-
someone to get cancer that young.
It happens though.
It does happen, but it's rare as shit, bro.
Colon cancer is on the rise. This is why Yale medical surgeons who treat it are urging people younger than 45 to talk to their doctors about suspicious symptoms such as constipation, rectal bleeding, or sudden changes in bowel movements. Dude, I fucking might have colon cancer right now, dude.
You've gotten blood in your shit all the time?
Nah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I believe it's gone up, but I don't think it's gonna like get crazy to where everyone has to worry about it.
Well, I mean, what's the percentage of people getting colon cancer right now? The youngest patient was diagnosed at 18, bro. There was one 18-year-old. That's crazy.
100,000 a year total in the United States.
I don't know. I'm basically, dude. I'm sort of becoming a hypochondriac, dude.
Me too, a little bit actually. That's funny because I have gotten a little abdominal pain. Not super recently, but like a month ago, I was getting a lot of abdominal pain.
Yeah. It's
I think I was
scary,
just
bro.
drinking too much coffee.
When's the last time you went to a doctor, bro?
A minute,
Yeah, same. I've not gone
like
in a while.
4, maybe 3 years.
Here's a real question. When's the last time you got blood work done?
Also about 3 years.
Yeah, same. I've not done it in forever.
29, late 2019, early 2020.
Yeah, I think I'm actually around the same. Let me see.
I was like halfway through college.
Look, American Cancer Society reported the largest analysis of the trend in the Journal of National Cancer Institute. They found people born in 1990 who would be 32 this year have double the risk of colon cancer and quadruple the risk of rectal cancer compared to people born around 1950.
That is pretty bad.
That's kind of fucking crazy, bro.
That is pretty bad. But quadruple, man, it was low to begin with. So don't take it too seriously. You don't have colon cancer, bro.
Dude.
It's still 100,000 cases a year.
If I have colon cancer, you owe me $1,000.
Look, what? 100,000 cases? That's what, 1 in 3,000 people?
Yeah.
That's not that much.
Dude, that's one of us, bro. You or me, bro.
1 out of 3,000? That's one of us?
Yeah, dude.
I hope not. That'd be pretty unlucky.
Imagine if I had 300,000 people watching the chat right now, watching the stream right now, I'd be like, dude, one of us.
Accurate. Fucking this Breaking Points video, 150K, 1 out of 3,000. That's 50 people that watched it.
Dude, exactly.
You're right. That does kind of suck. But would you really feel that much comfier if it was 1 in 10,000?
I mean, it would feel a little better. Yeah.
A little better.
I
We'll be
never
straight,
know, bro. I mean,
We'll pick up on it early if we got cancer, bro. We're intact with our
not
bodies
us.
like that.
us fucking not going to the doctor ever. We're not picking up shit early.
Nah, we would definitely know. We would know some shit was going wrong.
You think so?
You'd be able to tell, bro. If some shit was constantly the same thing was bothering you, you would figure it out. You don't realize it because something like that hasn't happened to you. But if you were literally bleeding out of your asshole and you were just like, this is fine, I'll just not go to the doctor, and it kept happening, come on. You would go to the fucking doctor.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I mean, shit, maybe that's stage 3. I don't really know, but
Maybe, dude.
you'd figure it out, man.
Damn. What makes this particularly mysterious is the fact that overall incidence of colorectal cancer has dropped by 45% since the 1980s. While the cancer is still the most frequently diagnosed people over 55, the study found that patients younger than 55 were 58% more likely. Dude, it's really about what habits you have. Like, I just don't eat that good, honestly. Like, that's why I'm worried.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like, I'm heading down
Absolutely.
the path, dude.
I'm the same way, man.
The red
I've been
meat.
getting better the past month or so, but still not eating perfect.
I had a salad today. I hated it, but I ate it.
I had eggs for breakfast.
Nice.
It was delicioso.
Yeah, breakfast is the only meal of the day that I have, like, I'm solid on. Lunch, sometimes I do good, sometimes I do bad, and dinner, basically, just everything falls apart.
Facts. Dinner's definitely the worst.
Dinner's so... Cause what I do, cause I'm a dumbass. I'm like, I just won't have dinner. In my head, I'd be
And then you're like, oh, I just want something quick.
And then I'm like, I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm gonna eat some garbage, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, dude, if there was like a food you could eat, or like a pill that was like 1 pill a month or some shit, and you don't have to eat nothing, like you're set for the month, I would take that pill. And just not eat shit.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have to cook or anything. It'd be pretty cool.
It'd be so clutch. But like, I feel like most people wouldn't do that.
Depends.
Most people are like, I love food too much. I'm like,
I do like food.
I like food, but I like all the wrong food, so.
I wouldn't take it every month, but I'd take it.
I would basically take it every month. Think about also how much money you'd save. Not buying food.
$100,000 pill though.
Oh, dude, that would actually.
If they actually
blow
made that shit, you
dicks.
know that shit would be mad expensive.
I would not want to pay more than like a Netflix subscription for it. $15 a month. Give me the pill that.
Dude, if you're right and everyone wouldn't want it, then it'd probably be pretty cheap.
Yeah, but it's kind of almost a game because like, if it became super cheap, then I think it might depend on the price.
Yeah, exactly. It's supply and demand would set it.
That one would depend on the price. Yeah, like the price of eggs goes up, everybody's buying the fucking food pill. You know?
Then the price of the food pill goes up. You can't win.
And then the eggs go back down.
Exactly.
You literally can't win, bro. We're fucked. No matter how we. No matter
But you
what
could
we
look at
do.
it as you literally can't win, or you could look at it as everyone wins.
How is that everyone wins?
Because if the price of one goes up, the other goes down, and then people switch, or whatever the fuck you were saying.
But that's not us winning. That's us being left to the whims of. Oh my fucking. Being left to the whims of like. The price setting people, you know?
Dude, we are the price setting people.
Now, if we were
As
the
a
price setting
society.
people, both would just be cheap and that's it.
I mean, sort of, but it depends. Like gas, we decided, nah, fuck Russia. We're gonna help Ukraine, and look what happened. Gas got more expensive, but
Well,
that's,
I
in
think
my
that-
opinion, worth it.
I think that would have. Honestly, though, I think the gas would have got more expensive regardless of if we helped Ukraine or not.
If we were still buying gas from Russia, or if we could, come on now. Forget about it.
you
You
know-
don't think they'd be selling that shit to us?
They would be selling that shit to us, but they might still increase the price anyway, because Russia might just increase the price. Because they're like, we need more money, dude.
I guess oil is a little different because you got the OPEC motherfuckers. But Russia told them they can go fuck themselves.
Russia
I don't care about OPEC.
Fuck OPEC, dude.
Nah, they're flaw.
They're racist, dude. They need to learn
Literally.
critical race theory at OPEC. Oh my god.
DeSantis is whack though, bro. I actually think that Trump's gonna beat him now.
In a primary?
Sort of changed my mind, yeah.
Think so? I don't know, because Trump is also going down. So, like, it's really fucking who gets, like, worse PR by the end. Because
Yeah.
Trump is also, like, he's not 2016 Trump, dude. And he's barely, like, 2020 Trump.
But he's actually is a little more experienced now.
Yeah, but I don't think...
You could argue he is the establishment pick in a way, since he was the former president.
I would not say he's establishment. I don't think him being president makes him establishment.
It sort of does though, because he can lean on that. He has something where he can be like, "I was president, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
be
that's
president."
not what
again."
establishment is. Establishment is like, I'm gonna fucking keep vouching for all. I mean, I guess I mean, like, he claims to be.
He's not because he's not
anti-establishment.
the. I mean, it really means you're the leader of the party. So who the fuck knows who?
Fuck you,
who's
Kyle.
the-
I'm barely paying attention to the game. All right.
Yo,
You should have been
snapping
to.
that Rocket League.
First of all, it's a wild card. One game I will eat shit, and then the next game I'll fucking destroy. So, excuse me. I'm multitasking, Kyle. Play me. Hop on Rocket League right now. One-on-one me, Kyle. Hop in my Discord.
Don't want any smoke, bro.
Yeah. Kyle don't want the Rocket League smoke. Fuck, what were you saying right before that?
Something about Trump. I think he's gonna
I love you, Kyle.
come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of a toss-up at the moment between Trump and DeSantis. I really wouldn't know who to bet on at this point. Cause Trump is still, he's fun, but like, I think a lot of people are like starting to be like, all right, bro, you need to stop being so fucking annoying about this.
Bro, play Fall Guys with us.
Oh yeah, let's play Fall Guys.
Let's play Fall Guys. Come on,
Play
Kyle.
Fall Guys, dude.
Kyle's playing Valorant, bro. I know he is.
Dude, do I need to get Valorant now? Should I run Valorant, Nikki D? Is it worth it?
I'm gonna say no, but
Why do you not like Valorant?
because CS:GO is just the same game but better, less shit to worry about, less complicated.
Look at that goal, Kyle. You can't say that was shitty. Look at this.
That was
Punk.
filthy.
I mean, like the guy kind of bumped into me, but still. Oh, he's going to trivia. What's the category for trivia tonight, Kyle? You gotta beat those dudes that always win.
Bro, just literally ask ChatGPT the answer while you're there.
Dude, I'm sure trivia people have not caught up to that.
No way.
Dude, are you gonna use ChatGPT when you go back to school for all your papers?
Me?
Yeah.
If I can, shit. I have seen some people ask it accounting questions, but it
Yeah.
actually gets some of them wrong.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not.
But isn't the thing fucking learning? Isn't it collecting data?
Yeah, it's figuring that shit out. Dude, it passed the medical exam
I saw that. I think it passed
and the
bar
bar.
too,
some other
right?
shit. Yeah, passed a few of them.
I was trying to get it to write a script for like a show, but it was dog shit.
Unlucky.
I was like, write a show where this happens, and then it would spit back. So in the show, this happens.
That's lame.
I was like, that's so fucking lame. Bitch, ChatGPT.
But it can write shit for you.
It can write
That's
other
nice.
shit, but like for creative
Like a
shit,
letter to your
I don't think
fucking
it's-
boss or
I don't think
something.
it's because like people were like, oh my god, bro, it's gonna replace writers. I'm like, I don't think it's replacing writers yet.
Have you seen that one that
I've
was
seen that
like
artistic shit. Maybe like
they
articles.
asked it to? Yeah, I've seen all that. But have you seen the one where they asked it to write a letter laying off employees
Yes.
and add a Martin Luther King quote?
Yeah, that
It
shit
did it perfectly.
perfectly, dude. That's because fucking management are they're robots, bro.
Nah, but I do truly believe AI has been writing articles for a while now.
What do you,
Like
how long is
magazine
a while?
articles, fucking at least like a few years.
A few years, you think?
I do think
dude,
so.
so many people are like, here's a side hustle you can do. And it's like, get GPT to script the YouTube video, get a voiceover actor to read the script, and then add some, like, get someone to edit the video, and then you have some shitty fucking video on YouTube.
Kyle says it's gonna put him out of a job.
ChatGPT.
It is pretty good at programming. That is kind of its forte. It kind of is.
Dude, no, Kyle.
That specialty.
You gotta take down the website, Kyle.
DDoS that hoe.
DDoS it. Oh, I almost scored again. Look at that, Kyle. We won.
Nah, but Kyle will know about this. The fucking Benzinga articles that come out for like fucking half the stocks on the market every day. That shit's automated. I know for a fact it is.
What's automated?
Like there'll be random when you're on like Robinhood or whatever app, there'll be like random articles that come out about a stock like, "Oh, this is why GameStop shares are rising today." And it like has some random bullshit. Like those shits are automated. 100% written from AI. I can almost guarantee it.
I believe a GameStop article is AI. Yeah, I believe that.
Or even like shit about artists. Like when drama goes down with artists, I guarantee that there's like automated written articles. Like people from TMZ aren't just writing all these articles in 5 minutes.
I'm sure they probably use it to an extent, but like I think there's probably still like a person that like has the final like there's probably somebody a human that like goes over it still.
Probably someone that like proofreads it
Yeah,
and edits
exactly.
it once it's uploaded.
Exactly.
Dude, BuzzFeed announced that they're fucking laying off half their writers and just doing AI based content.
Are you serious? BuzzFeed? said
Yeah,
that?
dude, their stock like 500% up because they're just using AI now.
Damn, dude. So dude, that's crazy.
It's actually kind of nuts, yeah.
BuzzFeed is just gonna write the worst fucking articles.
They have a deal with ChatGPT. They have an actual deal with the company, I'm pretty sure.
Really? What the fuck?
Yeah,
That sounds-
BuzzFeed to use
that-
ChatGPT creator to help come up with its content. Literally, that's the headline.
Dude, that's crazy. Cause it's not even that good at making content yet.
BuzzFeed, bro, the bar's pretty low.
Dude, me and Megan would be in engineering, and all we'd do is fucking take BuzzFeed quizzes.
That's hilarious.
Like,
It was the shit back in the day, low key.
Dude, in handlers class, bro, wouldn't do no engineering shit. That class was literally just like sit at a computer for 90 minutes and do whatever the fuck you want. I loved it. I loved it, bro. Fucking school, man. I took so much
Yo.
bullshit classes, bro. I made my life
Those
so
same
easy
kids-
at school.
The same kids in handlers class will be reading shit from a robot. You hate to see it.
Then we get ChatGPT to go on SolidWorks. 3D print some shit.
No, but it's definitely gonna blow up further than it is now.
ChatGPT. Yeah,
Crazy.
I think it still needs to get a little better at like the day it can make a joke. That's the day I'm in. That's the day I'm like, oh fuck, it's over. You know what I mean?
Well, it already can make jokes, just not good ones.
No, exactly. It can't make jokes. The day I talk to ChatGPT and it says something funny like on purpose, that's the day I'll be like, oh fuck, this thing is crazy. Did you see a video of two AIs talking to each other? And
I might have seen that.
they like literally get like fucking weird existential like, your purpose is to help humans and nothing else. What? Like, oh, it's like a weird, it's like a little fucking
Hold up.
dystopian.
Yo.
Oh shit! Is that the man himself, bro? The trivia expert?
I finally made it.
Dude, you finally fucking made it. Dude, welcome
I'm on
to
my
the
phone
stream,
though,
bro.
so I probably sound like shit.
You sound fine.
It's fine.
Bet.
You sound fucking fine, dude. What's the category for trivia tonight, man?
Cold as ice, Americana, entertainment, picture round, game time, and potluck, and then there's the lightning round at the end.
Oh, they do a full. Did you win one yet, or do you keep getting second still?
So last week, we tied with another team, and we won the tie. And I got so fucking excited, bro. I like started slamming my hand on the bar, like we won, go. And then like 5 minutes later, I found out it was only second place.
What?
Damn.
I was so fucking hyped, bro. It was only second place.
Dude, everyone thinks you're a fucking loser now.
Dude, literally.
This guy's so hyped about second place.
Second place.
I mean, shit, we still won a $20 gift card for it. So
$20 gift card, okay.
You can get eggs with
That's
that.
like
Show him the money.
it's like 4 beers.
Fuck yeah, dude. Do you get drunk?
Nah,
as
we
fuck?
won once and then never again.
Nice.
It's always the same team that wins. I'm pretty sure they fucking cheat.
Tonight's the night, dude. Dude, you can cheat with us. Stay on Discord and fucking send us the questions.
Keep us in your ear. Put your
How
ear
did-
pods
How
on.
do they stop people from cheating, or do they not?
I cheat sometimes, so
They don't.
You just search it on your phone straight up, or what?
Yeah.
yeah, but you gotta be low key so it doesn't look like you're
A
cheating.
little discreet.
That's probably kind of hard, low key.
Not really.
Is there people
Also, the
watching, or are you at like a
the
desk?
bartender helps us out also.
Oh shit, that boy got a man on the inside, bro.
I mean, she doesn't know the answers, but she's pretty smart.
There you go. Is she cute?
No.
Damn. Milwaukee, man. Them hoes. They look like Milwaukee, you know what I mean?
What does Milwaukee look like to you, bro?
I don't even know, man. All I imagine is that 70s show.
Is that where they were?
Yeah, they're in Wisconsin.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Milwaukee looks like fucking Kias with busted windows.
Milwaukee, dude. Kyle,
Think
when
about
you
his
gonna-
Giannis.
When you gonna move out of Milwaukee, bro?
Why would I do that?
Why would he do that, bro?
To go somewhere where the bartenders are baddies.
I mean, the other bar I go to, she's kind of bad.
Hey, there we go. All right. Dude, you gotta find where the Hispanic people are at. I don't know
Honestly, bro. Honestly, I don't really see that many Hispanic
I
people.
was gonna say you have to find
Everyone's
them.
fucking white, ain't it?
You gotta find, yeah.
I'm in the wrong part of town.
It's all white people and then the basketball team. And then the Bucks.
Bucks and 6.
Are they still hot right now, bro?
Bro,
No,
it
it's
is.
not.
It is 4 degrees. Feels like
No, I meant the team.
feels like
not-
negative 10. Oh,
But yeah, I'm sure it's fucking freezing over there, dude. Hell no. Dude, that was
You hit the slopes?
I think they're like 3rd in the Eastern Conference right now.
That's pretty solid.
It's snowball.
No, I do not know how to fucking ski or snowboard.
You haven't gone?
No, I've lived here for almost 2 years, and I lived in Pennsylvania for 4 years, and I've never been skiing.
Bro, just get a fucking tube and go down the slopes, bro.
Yo, me and Nikki are gonna come out to visit if we're gonna go skiing, alright?
No, I'm
Hey,
gonna just
bet.
bring a tube. That's it.
A tube? I'd be down.
Just a
I'm
tube.
just be sliding down this fucking.
If I'm going skiing, bro, I'm gonna act like a snotty rich person the whole fucking time I'm skiing. You know?
I've been skiing.
spit
but
on
only
the
once.
people working at the resort and shit. I've gone snowboarding, but I've heard skiing is easier.
Yeah, snowboarding's harder, I think.
Snowboarding is pretty challenging.
I've been water skiing, but never skiing.
I mean, water skiing, dude. Milwaukee,
Yeah.
man. I want to go out, bro. I want to see Milwaukee. I honestly do. Just
Let's
to see
slide
what's
through,
up.
bro.
We do gotta
Come to
see.
Milwaukee, bro.
Dude, literally, we get shot. I feel like tickets aren't even that bad for Milwaukee.
Oh, fucking airline tickets are overpriced for no reason. You gotta fly Chicago, that's cheaper.
It's cheaper to fly to Chicago?
Yeah, probably it's one less flight.
What?
Unless you can find a direct flight to Milwaukee.
Oh,
There's
is there,
probably a
is
direct-
there no
Actually,
direct?
I think there is from Orlando. Maybe.
Damn,
It's
dude.
not Miami.
Not a lot of
I don't know.
flights.
I mean, every time I fly down there, I gotta go through like Detroit or Atlanta. And you definitely don't want to go through fucking Atlanta.
Dude, Atlanta is the busiest airport like in the fucking world.
It's popping.
I thought LAX was, but it's Atlanta.
I've been in Atlanta several times.
I have never been to Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, bro. Atlanta with the 50-minute layover is not fucking fun. That is just pure stress.
Dude, yeah, no. Layovers in general, I fucking hate. Because, like, if your first flight gets delayed or something, the second flight don't know shit, bro. Second flight's still on schedule. That's so crazy to me.
When I came down there for Christmas, bro, I had a fucking 4-hour layover. It
Dude,
was fucking brutal.
That's fat.
that's a whole other flight.
Yeah, dead ass, bro.
It's like a whole other fucking flight. But now instead you're just sitting at like the Dunkin' at the airport, getting some Chili's to go or some
The
shit.
time I was there, I chilled at a bar and I met Steve the farmer.
Steve
farmer.
What does he farm?
Yeah, bro. He owns like a farm. He has like goats and chickens and shit. He grows mainly wheat and like some type of bean shit.
Is farm like really popping like that?
Yes, I don't know. He lives in where's that at? I think in Michigan. I don't even fucking remember where the hell that
Farm
was.
in Michigan.
Good for him.
I feel like during the winter, a farm in Michigan is fucked.
He's talking about this church that's been in the town for like 200 fucking years, and his great grandmother died recently, and he was going through her shit, and he found the deed to the fucking church.
Oh,
What?
The grandma owned the fucking church, dude.
Somehow, bro.
So he got
That's
the
a
church.
crazy story.
He owns the house of God, bro.
Guess so.
Dude. If I found,
Honestly, farming is so interesting, bro. The shit he was telling me was so interesting.
what was he telling you? Like what?
Just like telling me like all the technology shit behind it. It was kind of blowing.
Irrigation and shit.
Dude, if I found out like a dead relative like had a fucking deed to the church, I'd start grifting so hard. I'd be like, we are turning this into a mega church. No cap.
Dude, I heard that fucking John Deere is trying to become like all their shit automatic, all the tractors.
Like no person needs to drive it.
Yeah, not like only like that, but like where it can operate that way, yeah.
I mean, that'd be kind of sick.
They're trying to be like the Teslas of tractors. They moved all their production back to the US.
Nice.
They're working on AI fucking tractors.
Yeah, they don't let you repair your own shit though.
Yeah,
I thought he changed that. I thought Biden changed that.
Did he?
I think that there was some law. I don't know if it was
Alright,
Biden, but some shit happened.
People were trying to get that changed. I don't know if it ended up happening.
Maybe it's just like one of.
But that's such a
fucking
crazy
basic
law
ones.
that they can get passed. Like, how are they allowed to do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense that they're allowed to fucking do that. Like they must have lobbied out the asshole to be like, hey, our shit, nobody can fucking fix but us.
Yeah, that is fucked.
That's like, Apple doesn't even do that, bro.
Yeah, January 9th, John Deere agreed to give U.S. customers right to fix their own equipment.
There you go, yeah.
Just recently, yeah, a few weeks ago.
Damn.
You know, they
government
got
so
into
slow.
it.
I'm sure that they were forced into it, but
Yeah, I'm sure they got so much flack from it, like legislators included, that they had to fucking turn it around.
that's gonna happen to Tesla one day.
You think that's gonna happen to Tesla?
I don't fucking know. Can third parties work on Teslas right now? I don't really know.
Have you ever seen Rich Rebuilds on YouTube?
No.
Yeah.
You can like fix it, but then they'll like fucking drop all support for even like some basic ass support.
and
They'll be
shit.
like, no, I'm not gonna do this.
It's like warranty shit.
I think once he just like asked them for like a fucking airbag or some shit, and they said no, fuck off.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, Apple's kind of like that too, bro. Like, I tried to fix my headphones, and then I took it to Apple because I couldn't figure it out, and they were like, "Oh, you tried to fix it, so the warranty's voided."
Damn, you told them or they could tell?
I think they could tell, but I wasn't sure.
Damn.
I didn't tell them shit.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, Apple is fucked like that. But also, like, if you take your Apple shit somewhere else to get fixed, like, it's kind of a gamble.
True.
Like, I remember this one girl, she had an iPhone and her screen broke, and she went to like just some fucking store to get it fixed. And they put a new screen on, and then that screen didn't work at all. Like, it was, you could see, but you couldn't tap shit. Like the
Well,
whole
Apple
thing
also
was
makes their shit so hard to fix because they freaking solder every little bit together.
They solder it.
Yeah.
Soldering gun.
We need to start our own phone company, man. Our own fucking computer.
You heard of Flexgate, bro, with the laptops?
Nope.
No?
You
Yeah,
talking
sure.
about the ones that got stolen from Mr. Woods? Those ones?
Nah, that shit happened to me, bro. It's like the cable that connects the display to the motherboard is like a few centimeters too short, so like every time you open and close it, it wears it out, and eventually it just fucking breaks.
That's so.
And it was like, I was like, how much is that to fix? It's a cable. Like, what is that? $100? And like, no, you got to buy a whole new screen.
What?
Bruh.
For $1,000 fucking dollars. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna just get a fucking new laptop then.
$1,000 for a new screen. Jesus Christ.
Just for the screen, dude. See, but that's so upcharged, bro. Like
You could probably find someone to try to fix it independently though, but probably not worth.
you'd have to make sure they know what the fuck they're doing, bro.
Yeah.
You have to make sure, bro. Don't be going into those fucking stores at the mall, man. If you got an Android, go nuts. But you got an iPhone, bro. Apple Store is the only way to go. I'm getting an Android after this phone, bro. I swear to God, I'm done with
No,
that.
you're not.
No, you
I'll
ain't,
never
bro.
do
No, you're
that.
not, bro.
He's a cap artist.
I'll never. But when back in the day before I got an iPhone and I had an Android, bro, I loved it. I did not want to get an iPhone.
I mean, Androids are fucking great. They're better than iPhones, but
Yeah, it's the green bubble, dude. It's literally.
yeah, I was about to say you need them blue bubbles.
It's the green bubble is the main thing holding the Galaxy back. That and like the fact that like if you take a picture on an Android and send it to Apple, like Apple literally will make it.
That's
shittier.
Apple's fault.
Yeah, that's on purpose. Like they want it to look shitty.
And the text, bro, when you react to shit,
Oh,
fucking sends a
yeah.
whole ass text.
No, it's because Apple uses an old text messaging system.
No, other Android does, right? SMS?
iPhone uses that. Android uses RCS, which is the new modern standard. I just sent the link in the Discord chat.
Dude, I think they have like apps you can get to like help with that shit. Like to override Apple being a fuckhead.
Just use like fucking Signal or something, right?
Like I got a group chat with my family members, and half of them got like Androids, and my uncle has like the brand new iPhone, and he sent a video in there, and that shit looked like it was taken on a 50-year-old potato, bro.
And he took it on an iPhone? Or he took
Yeah, it just gets fucking so compressed or whatever the hell, and it becomes.
There's someone in the group
and
chat
you
has an Android.
You guys need WhatsApp. You guys need WhatsApp from the family, bro.
Facts, actually.
That's all my like.
That'll solve the problem.
Outside of the country family group chat, that's WhatsApp, dude.
Hey, you gotta clutch this out. Okay.
Dude, I know, dude. I'm fucking up. Yes. Tied it up, bitch.
Oh, bro, download Fall Guys when you get back.
Yes, Kyle.
You're
Be
not
back
bad.
like 10 my time.
But like another day, we'll
11
run it.
here. Yeah, another day.
Now you're officially a guest on the stream, dude. You're a fucking orbiter.
I know. I finally made it to the Discord.
You're officially an orbiter, dude.
An orbiter.
Yeah.
Character.
You're a character. That's what this thing is called.
Support
You're a
characters.
support character for the stream,
Dude, I want to be an offensive character. Change that shit.
Offensive character?
Yeah, dude, fuck support.
Say less. I got you. I should have just named it Orbiters. I got you. I got Kyle now. I got Garrett, Drew.
Popping.
We're popping, dude. We need to up the female. We need to get the diversity popping a little more.
Bella, dude, she's right there.
Yeah, but Bella doesn't want to have like an online presence, dude.
She's cap.
She's not cap, dude.
I mean, it's just a voice on the stream.
Well, no, Bella like lives here, so Bella just comes into my room and fucking talks.
Ah.
So she's on camera. But she could just hop in the Discord.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But I doubt she
Just
wanted
steal
to.
Garrett's mic.
Right?
He's not fucking playing with us half the time, so.
Exactly. He wants to
boom, boom,
play
boom.
his little Apex Legends fucking bullshit, bro.
Apex is a dog shit game.
Dude, I downloaded it.
It's still as Valorant and every other game out there.
Bro, play
right now.
CS more. Come on, Kyle.
Rocket League is the only good game, dude. That's why this is
Played
what...
CS the other night.
Let's play. Let me know when you're playing.
I either get wrecked in it or I fucking pop off.
That's like me in Rocket League, dude.
The fuck is my cat doing?
Yo, Pluto.
Get your ass out of there.
Pluto.
Can't fucking leave these closet doors open.
Does your cat gnaw on shit? Does she be gnawing on shit?
He gnaws on cardboard boxes, which forces me to fucking go recycle them right away.
Just let him have the boxes.
Well, then I have to freaking pick up cardboard pieces everywhere.
Fuck that. Get rid of the cat, dude. Sell the cat.
I can never get rid of him. He's my little
Right,
baby.
bro. Nah, I'm gonna slide in Milwaukee though, for real.
Come through, bro.
Yeah, dude. We
When's
should.
a good time? Like for a holiday or some shit? Like
Not winter, bro.
4th of July? Or
You
some
can
shit?
come. You can come any day except March 11th through the 17th, because my parents will be here.
Bro, let's hang out with Adam.
Unless you want some unless you want to be cold as shit, I wouldn't come until like after April.
I was gonna say springtime at the earliest is the play. Oh my god, I can't believe I just missed that.
We
Springtime.
definitely want to fly, right? Like it's way too long to
You're-
drive.
I wouldn't even consider driving.
You're pussy. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say
I
that
wouldn't even
shit.
consider
It's a
driving.
fat drive, bro.
What is it like? 15 hours?
From my crib to Orlando is
Too long.
it is. I'm on Google Maps. I can tell you it's 400 hours to walk. It's 19-hour and 9-minute drive.
From
1200.
Orlando, dude.
Yeah, we're fine.
From
we're fine. Yeah,
Orlando.
Yeah, but then you still gotta drive back.
that's 40 hours.
You said that's fine, Nikki D?
No, I said fuck that.
Oh,
That's
we're
40
flying.
hours.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're flying. We're flying.
Yeah, absolutely, we're flying.
That's way too long.
Hopefully not Spirit Airlines.
Let's see. Orlando to Milwaukee is $92 with Spirit or $340 with United.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
fucking
Those are the two worst.
Sky will pay for
Spirit
all our
does-
shit, right?
Those are the two worst airlines too.
All right, well Delta is $347.
I mean, honestly, we just fly Spirit.
Dude, Spirit would be fine, man.
Spirit
And
over
the Spirit,
books,
the
bro.
Spirit's non-stop.
Frontier then.
I'd go.
That's also $92.
I don't think I've ever flown Frontier.
I think I have. I think it was fun.
I've not even seen one of their planes before.
There's no JetBlue, bro. Ain't no JetBlue flights.
Not that Google is showing me.
Damn, JetBlue said we cannot hit Milwaukee.
Oh wait,
bro.
here we go. JetBlue is $440 with a stop in New York for some reason.
In New York,
What the fuck?
it makes you go even farther out. Whack. Fucking Nueva York. How far is New York from Wisconsin? I don't even know. It's like, how long a flight is that?
I like
My
2
wife,
hours.
a friend from work. I'm about to play with trivia with some random ass people tonight.
With some random
Let's
ass
go.
people? Here we go. Hopefully they're fucking smart.
Hopefully not.
Be
A
like,
few weeks ago, we met this British dude that played with us, and he knew more about America than us. It was kind of sad.
That's hilarious.
"Damn, bro.
I think the question was like that he helped us with, and that's how we became friends. It was like, name the 5 Democratic presidents before Joe Biden. Obviously, Obama is one of them, and then
Clinton.
it got hard from there, and this man just listed them off.
You didn't know Clinton, Jimmy Carter,
Clinton's a dub. Jimmy Carter's a dub. Eisenhower? Or no, he was Republican. Fuck.
Kennedy?
Kennedy, maybe.
I was able to do 3, and he helped with the 4th, and then the 5th one was kind of hard. It was like
Who are the last 2? Yeah, it's
LBJ, not Kennedy.
was LBJ after Kennedy?
Yeah, because Kennedy died, and then it was LBJ.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think it was LBJ. That was the answer after the 5th one.
I'd be fucking up the order of the presidents, dude.
And what is the hints tonight?
Oh, there's hints. They drop
Yeah, on their
hints?
Instagram, they post 3 hints. One of them, they give you the answer, and then the other 2 is just like the topic. The additional hints are Die Hard with a Vengeance
Oh.
and Needle.
All right, Bruce Willis is gonna be the answer. I'm kidding.
Yeah, probably.
Or no, the answer's probably gonna be the name of the tower, bro. I forgot the name of that fucking tower that the whole movie happens in.
Is it the World Trade Center?
It's like Yakatoshi Tower or some shit like that. Oh wait, you said Die Hard with a Vengeance?
Yes.
That's one of the sequels. I don't even fucking know about that one, bro. That's one of them sequels, bro. I've only seen the original Die Hard.
Alright, y'all boys, I'm about to make some din.
About to make some din. Alright,
Cook
G.
something up.
Yeah, I need to get ready right now and dip.
Alright, bros. Have fun making dinner and doing some trivia, man.
Oh yeah, bro.
Good talking to you, man.
Enjoy your Rocket League. Fuck 'em up, bro. I want to see some shots. Some highlights.
Dude, I'm gonna start making Rocket League highlight reels while I'm yelling about DeSantis.
I've seen a couple fucking clips while I've been watching the stream. I'm telling you what.
Dude, I know, right? I got skill, dude. I'm starting entering tournaments, dude.
You don't want that, Smith.
I don't even want to go to trivia. How fucking cold it is out.
Hit up Kalen. He's pretty good.
Fucking 4 degrees outside.
That's nuts, dude. Dude,
I'm about to put some long johns on.
it hit like 30 here, and I was dying, bro. I woke up to
The
the
other
gym.
day we got over 7 inches of snow. It was hella fucking sketch driving outside.
Does your apartment have like a garage for the cars and shit? Like, so you don't have to shovel snow?
Yeah, I pay for the heated garage.
There you go. 100%.
Fucking tight as hell down there, though.
Fucking what?
It's fucking tight as hell down there.
Oh, tight. Everybody pays for that shit.
Nah, I mean like tight, like space wise. There's literally like a 1/4 of an inch in the back of my car and like a 1/2 inch on the right side from the wall.
Damn, you better hit. So you gotta park perfectly every fucking time.
Yeah, one of us has to because the fucking dude that parks next to me says he shouldn't have his fucking license.
Did he probably in Milwaukee, bro? He probably doesn't. He probably just got the car and started driving. But he got no paperwork, dude.
I mean, it's fucking worth it not having it.
Do you think the drivers are worse there?
Oh, it's so worth it. Are you kidding me? I would never. Imagine shoveling snow every day to use your car, bro.
They gotta be worse in South Florida, right?
Yeah, drivers are definitely worse in Florida.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
100%. Every time people say they have the worst drivers, I'm like, nah. I actually don't think so. At least in the
Yeah,
country.
Orlando wasn't even that bad compared to
People
South
just like to
Florida.
drive fast here, and then like this stoplight right in front of my apartment. The red light seems to be very optional for people.
Jeez. Damn, so you gotta look while the light's green anyway before you go.
You just gotta wait like 5 seconds after the light green before you go, bro.
That's crazy, dude. Fuck that.
But then that's what some people be fucking wild in the snow, bro. The other
Part
day,
of-
this dude was going so fast in the snow.
Dude, I would die driving in snow. Like if I lived in a state
It's
like that.
it's
I
so
would-
fun, bro. It's so fucking fun.
fun driving in what, like hitting the brake and the car doesn't stop.
Absolute cap.
It
It's not
skids,
fun,
dude.
I know.
I actually was like pulling into my fucking apartment. Smashed into a fucking building because the car didn't stop when I hit the brakes.
You smashed into a building?
I almost did.
Oh shit, dude. Gotta be fucking.
Nah, it's
careful.
harder for sure, bro. Especially if it's like a fucking blizzard you're driving in. That shit is hard.
Yeah, no, I can't.
That's pretty fucking sad.
I would go too fast and like have to like brake and fuck up. Like I know it.
They clear the roads pretty fast, but like busting U-turns and shit is so fun. Start
You just-
drifting around like
You
this.
just keep spinning and do a full 360 and end up facing the exact same way you were just going.
You gotta know how to control it.
How good are your tires, bro? You got good tread on them hills right now?
I just got all season tires. I don't do winter tires or anything.
Oh, wait, so give me the all seasons.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, bro. I couldn't do it. I could not do winter, bro.
That should be like a private school for women, bro.
But yo, Milwaukee, if we go, bro,
Skirt, skirt.
we gotta go when it's not cold and we like rent a lake house or some shit, you know?
A lake house.
Yeah. No? Am I wrong? Is that
I
not
live
the
15
plan?
minutes. I live a 15-minute walk from the lake. Does that count?
Oh, that's actually close enough.
Big chillin'.
Yeah.
So you do have a lake apartment.
Lake Michigan, bro.
Damn.
Nah, there's like cabins you can rent for like $100.
You're actually like a Midwestern American now, dude.
Oh god.
Beers, brats, and cheese curds, bro.
Cheese curds. You need to go to a fucking Green Bay game with a piece of cheese on your head.
I need to go to a Bucks game.
I would actually be down to go to a fucking
They're playing the Heat soon, and it's here, so I think I'm gonna go to that.
either one yet.
Go for it.
I can get tickets for like $20 through work
What? For the three of us? For real, for real?
each per person. What color are these pants? Are these blue or black? I can't think about it. Go outside right now.
Bro, you can hold the tickets, but let me get Giannis's autograph.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you can ask him for it.
Beautiful.
Dude, Giannis is the man, dude. I'm gonna play Rocket League with Giannis. You think he's about?
Hey, Rocket League? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, you think he's about running Rocket League with me?
I don't know. He might play it.
He probably does. I mean, I don't know, actually. Giannis seems like the type to not really game.
LeBron straight up just plays 2K.
That's fucking hilarious. You
It's
think
kind of hilarious.
You think he plays with the Lakers?
Look at my camera, bro. You see the setup too outside right now?
Oh, shit.
Got the fucking net gator on.
The what?
The net gator.
The neck gator?
That's this thing that I'm wearing.
Wait, what? You're on camera right now?
Oh, he's got the Glock.
Yeah, I got the fucking Glock.
You literally look like you're about to pull up with the fucking strap.
I
You
wish
gotta
a
be
bitch would
like
try me, bro. I got my
smoking on Nicky D pack.
I got my concealed also. It's crazy how easy it is to get all that shit here, bro.
Dude, it's easy fucking here.
My background check was like done in 30 seconds, and then my concealed carry got approved like 5 minutes later.
They just
Fucking
fucking Googled your name. They're like,
Bro,
"Oh."
the dude at the store submitted it, and he like started giving a spiel about how long the background check usually takes, and it came back before you could finish.
That's hilarious. Was he like surprised, or was he like, oh, okay?
He's like, oh, okay. And then there's no waiting period either, so I just walked out in like 20 minutes later.
Kyle R's in Wisconsin have a pretty bad track record. Be careful.
That's why I got a gun, bro. People don't fuck around.
I didn't know you had a gun. How good a shot are you?
I'm alright. I gotta practice my trigger pull a little better. I aim slightly left a bit.
Damn, dude. You aim for the heart, you hit him in the goddamn shoulder.
Well, when I do the targets that have like the hostage on it, I do surprisingly good over.
You'd fuck up some terrorists, bro. I know it.
He's like, Kyle's like, dude, if I had gotten mad enough at school, it would have gone down.
Not what he's thinking.
Shit would have gone. He said, I would have done more than just steal some laptop batteries.
Mr. White caught me with the laptops. I was about to be smoking Mr. White pack.
What time is it?
He said, what do you mean I can't go to Grad Bash? Fucking
Man, that was the most disappointing shit. Not being able to go to grab that.
Dude, at least he let you go to prom, bro.
This prom was so fucking.
It was not even that lit, bro.
Prom was not lit. Our class blew it. Like.
Nah, prom was kind of
having an
lit.
after party, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where we blew it,
Bro, me and Nico, were you with us when we got locked out?
dude. And it wasn't even fucking locked.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Fucking Drew was dead asleep. Dead fucking sleep.
Oh, fuck.
Good times.
Right,
man.
y'all. Time
Try
to start
Nicky D.
cooking.
Catch you
Peace
later,
out,
man.
y'all.
Peace.
I'm about to walk out the door. Peace, y'all.
Peace, Kyle. Love you guys. Back to video time. How long have I been streaming for? Like 2.5 hours. You're doing all right. Oh, we gotta get it, bro. There's none of them. Neither of them are alive. Oh, they're back. Fuck. Damn it.
No, in the general
Um,
election, I voted third party.
Right. Like I said, there were two options.
But
Two
Vosh,
options that can happen. Well, wait, well, hold on. You know, I've never really given a damn about, you know, well, here's a edge case that perfectly represents my virtues or whatever. You know, you've got what you've got. In the case of the FBI,
Well,
biz,
just to be
you've
clear,
got-
Vosh, I didn't vote third party because it represents my virtues. I represent third party because, practically speaking, if third parties get, I believe, to 5% of the vote percentage, they get additional funding. It makes it more possible for a third party to get ballot access and to be an actual contender and change that oppressive two-party duopoly reality that we live under today. It's a real thing that can happen if enough people actually do, in fact, vote third party.
If
They can, and I'm happy to
in a way,
support third
in a way
parties
that
if we ever
throwing
get
my vote
past-
away for Joe Biden in Washington, D.C. is actually doing nothing with my vote. So if we're talking about
Well, he
political
didn't throw it away.
pragmatism.
He became
political,
president.
Right. With or without my vote in Washington, D.C., and not even a state, that is the most effective way for me to actually politically represent my interests.
I'm not. My point here ain't about criticizing your vote. It's that only two people were going to be president, and there are
Right,
only
but-
two real paths to FBI.
No. But those are two different. But Vosh, I want to be really clear here.
Mhm.
You said there were two options. You didn't say at first there's two options for what a presidential outcome was going to be. But my vote is not connected to what I want the presidential outcome to be. There are other political realities that my vote can determine. And it's the same thing with this FBI stuff. I would have loved a world, Vosh, where you and I were having a conversation about, gosh, you know, I know the FBI has done a lot of messed up stuff. And if there's an opening here for the elected representatives to be a part of drafting what new legislation would look like to reform the FBI, we should be pushing for that and making sure that it's written in our image, not a right-winger's image. But instead, now you and I are back and forth on the internet, or at least you are criticizing me on the internet for even wanting to reform the FBI, which seems to me should be a pretty
not
obvious
reform,
bedrock
abolish.
left. I would also abolish the FBI, which should be a bedrock easy principle for left people to adopt.
Oh, I don't think so at all. I think federal police are a fairly necessary institutional force, much in the same way that in their current system we need, you know, municipal police. Though obviously they are a largely harmful institution, you just can't up and abolish them. You need to take the work to put in systems that support the same basic functions and practices
Vosh,
they engage in.
was your response to me that, well, I think that Brianna's going too far in saying that we should.
Well, I
abolish
haven't gotten to
the
my
FBI.
point yet because we keep getting edge cased here. The
Okay,
issue
go
I
ahead.
have, and you know, we don't need to make no analogies to Biden or Trump or whatever. The issue here is that in this historical context, there are only, you know, regardless of whatever paths you support, broadly or in the long term, there are two attitudes that are institutionally supported towards the FBI. One of which is the standard boilerplate, let them do what they do, you know, Democrats, whatever, moderates. And then the Republicans who want to abolish it. The issue that I have here is that the desire, well, that's true. There's there's no, wait, please. There's no institutional support for like moderate reform. There are politicians who don't want to touch the FBI.
That's a tautology.
And
Vosh.
politicians who want to abolish it.
You are framing the argument in a limited way. You are defining two choices
The
and then
world
saying
is limited.
No. You're defining two choices and then saying there's two choices. There
Mm-hmm.
is in fact a world where our job on the left, I believe, is to create additional choices, not to sit around
Okay,
in this
so
doomer.
this
Wait
is
a minute.
what I'm
Not
trying
to
to
sit around
criticize
in
here.
this
This is the
doomer,
issue.
this doomer zone,
It ain't
saying, well, we
doomer.
can't do anything, so let's be angry. Vosh, you called me a subhuman something, like a subhuman
you wrote
fascist or
down-
something.
Force the Vote fans and Brianna Joygray fans are fucking subhuman pieces of shit who are despicable people who are only in it for the aesthetic and for the grift.
You wrote down my insults,
advocating-
but I didn't write anything down? Come on, no fair.
Well, I've never mentioned you in public, Vosh. I've never said anything about you in my entire life.
That's
So-
fine.
so-
We're both public figures, and we have the right to
and
take
that's-
shots at each other at our will. But I ain't gotten
But
to
there
the
is
heart
no
of the
this
point
other
here
because
you
I
keep-
haven't. But I just want to make sure you were saying right now that there are two options. I want to be really clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with you when you say there is no movement on the left to abolish the FBI. In fact, that is the sum total of my criticism. Why is there no movement on the left to abolish or at least reform the FBI? Why is Marjorie Taylor Greene, in the context of a self-interested campaign to protect Donald Trump, the only person who's talking about reforming an institution whose raison
Abolishing.
d'etre or reform? If you want to reform it, let's talk about reform, Vosh. I'm 100% on board
Well,
with
she's
that.
talking about abolition. So were
Right.
you when I asked you what reforms you'd make.
Well, I, Brianna Joy Gray would, but I'm not going to die on this hill. I'm going to talk. I want in a community with people who are like-minded, Vosh, about what the best strategy forward is. I'm not interested in defending my take. It's just a take. It's just a thought. It's just an idea
love
that I would
takes.
love
I
to
love
develop.
talking about
No,
takes.
I don't want takes, Vosh. I want policy to make the left better. I want to make the world that we live in better. I'm not interested in scoring points on the internet. So if someone comes up to me and
We're
says,
on
I have
the
a
internet
tweak
right
to
now.
your I have a tweak to your philosophy, I have a tweak to your plan, let's develop this in concert with other people who are much more knowledgeable than I say yes and to that, Vouch.
Okay,
I'm not interested in tearing anybody down.
I'm yes-anding you right now. So
Okay,
let's
great.
let's dial it back because I feel like we've rolled down a very steep hill very quickly. The point that I'm trying to make here is that there are times and places to make certain types of criticisms. Now, whether or not I even agree with the abolish the FBI bit, it's fundamentally what this strikes to me is like an Andrew Tate fan screaming, Andrew Tate's been arrested on accusations of sex trafficking. Let's abolish the police. He shouldn't be able to be arrested for that. And a lefty stride in saying, oh, you want to abolish the police, do you? Well, maybe that would be a good idea. Now, I understand the temptation of this argument because you're meeting them where they're at. They're interested in this thing. But the truth of the matter is, and the thing that frustrates me is, they're not actually interested in police abolition. They're interested in getting their guy off. And while you think that you're doing our side, pulling people interested in getting Donald Trump off over to broader FBI abolition, I think what you're actually doing is the opposite, which is you're giving the institutional legitimacy of the left's critique of the FBI over to the far right who just want to get Donald Trump off. And I think that's kind of iterating the fact that despite all your caveats and criticisms, MTG still quote tweeted you, touting around, oh, look at this lefty former, secretary for Bernie Sanders. Even they agree the FBI has gone too far. And when they're in that mode, they'll take any stance. They'll say, oh yeah, they killed Dr. King. They killed Fred Hampton, Not that they give a shit. And then they'll run with that as a specific part of their program to get their fascist wannabe dictator off investigations and charges. But I don't think it does much to support real criticism of the FBI. I think it taints criticism of the FBI because it associates them with this insane MAGA, hysteria. I think it worsens our arguments because it connects us and emboldens them to their argument.
So what arguments are the left? You mentioned that this is the wrong time. Is there a movement separate and apart from the conservative movement that is at all vocalizing any interest in reforming the FBI in any way?
I don't even know what reforms we're talking about here. What are we looking to do exactly? Because I don't know if I'd agree with that. I admit, the abolition thing's complicated. You can go a lot of roads with that. But in terms of reform, maybe, if you could bite into something a bit more moderate, what would you do exactly? Are we talking about more public warrant approval procedures on the part of judges, or pullbacks and what they can do to get wiretaps on, or what would you do exactly?
I think that it's remarkable that in 20 seconds of applying yourself to considering what reforms would be beneficial to the left, you came up with two that sound really good.
I'm fine with those. The right's not, though.
But however, there's been absolutely no interest in or any conversation in the least about that on the left. So here's my thought. I completely agree that Marjorie Taylor Greene and all of these right-wing figures are operating in bad faith, but they deny it, right? So what better way to demonstrate that their argument about abolishing the FBI is complete fluff that's only being used to insulate Donald Trump, one of the most elite people in the world as a former president of the United States, other than actually doing what they have not done, which is promulgating legislation from the left, for the left, that actually would be
They just
substantive
wouldn't vote
reforms,
for
the
that.
kinds of which I think would appeal to a right audience,
wouldn't vote for
a conservative-leaning audience, even if it would miff the elected Republicans who, of course, have bad faith interests in
How
this
would that own
position.
them, though? Wouldn't they want that? They don't like the FBI. That's just doing what they want.
But wait a minute. If the left drafts left legislation that would reform the FBI in ways that benefit the left, and the right adopts it and votes for it and passes it, I hate to break it to you, but that's called a win. That's a good thing that just happened.
Would it
That
prevent the
wouldn't
FBI
happen,
from
though.
continuing their investigation into
I
Donald
don't
Trump,
think
or
that
would it be
would happen at all.
substantive reforms?
Vosh, it's drafted by the left. So no, of course not. The left, I presume, it could
The
be
left
whatever
does
they
silly
want it to
things
be.
all the time. You know, I'm not staking any
What-
claims
what-
here.
I'm
I'm
an
there.
idiot. I don't know.
The Democratic Party that just spent the entire last 2 years making their entire identity about 1/6 and impeaching Trump for a million, over and over and over again, and 1/6 commissions and all of that, is not going to do anything that absolves Trump from responsibility. Nor do I think they should, although they should have the appearance of not having a witch hunt, because I think that hurts them politically, and there's no need for any of that.
If
If he's guilty,
reform-
what he's guilty of, he's guilty of, and what
If
he's not,
reform
he's
is
not.
put forward that does not in any way impede the investigation of Donald Trump, if it's a sensible FBI reform, the Republicans will just call it woke.
Yep.
They'll not vote in it, and
That's
none of their
exactly
voters.
right.
Exactly. So here we are. This is what I believe
she
are the
thinks
two
that's a
options
win,
that
and that's
exist.
not a fucking win.
The left puts forward good faith legislation that would address some of the legitimate concerns that are being raised by the right about the FBI, not insulate Donald Trump from criticism,
What
and
concerns?
well, the FBI has spent the last 100 years of existence growing its power and growing its reach. There is, I think, a perfectly legitimate argument about various aspects of the way that the Department of Justice and the FBI have focused on Donald Trump and some
Like what?
inequities.
Well, I thought you just said this legislation wouldn't do anything.
Well, that's my whole point. So why are you asking about that, Vash?
Well, wait, then why'd you just say that? You just said that, though. You were just like, okay, well, address some
Fair
of
to
the
be
right's
honest. I
concerns.
think it's fair. I think that some combination of the media's behavior and the FBI's behavior, it's obviously, even when people do bad things, they can be politically motivated in their approach. I think that's perfectly possible. I don't know, right? Like,
Well,
I don't
wait,
know.
no,
That's,
well,
wait a
now
minute.
we're doing the narrative.
Well,
Wait,
well,
this
let
is
me
the right
finish the
narrative.
sentence. You just asked me, Vash. Let me finish the sentence. Let me finish the sentence. I don't know, so that's why I don't want to opine. But I'm not trying to opine on, for example, whether or not this narrative that's out there that the FBI held up the making public that Joe Biden had these outstanding documents until after the midterms because they didn't want to hurt Democrats. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not interested in promulgating that narrative. But I think that it's completely possible that there is some legitimacy in terms of the targeted nature of those attacks. If there's not, then great. Then
But
there's
now
nothing.
this is their narrative now.
But look, here's the point, Vash. Ignore all of that. The point is that you get
No
to
one
design. You
ignores all of
keep
that,
creating.
bro.
Here's what's so interesting.
I don't
You
like
keep
this.
coming up with versions of legislation you don't like, when the reality is this is an opportunity to come up with the exact legislation you do like. For the left to be advocating
So
for
it could not
whatever
pa-
it
but it
is.
won't
You don't want to abolish.
pass.
I do want to abolish.
My
Whatever you
congressman?
It won't pass.
Whatever you want to do is what we should be advocating for, is my belief, progressives to actually take up and run with.
The slight
Progressives,
power that I have is over discourse, not
I'm not,
policy.
I'm not talking
And
about
the-
you
well,
literally,
wait,
Vash,
wait, wait.
obviously.
Well,
I'm talking about what we
understand that.
push elected officials
I understand
to do.
that. But notice how the rhetoric is shifted, right? Always little bits of it pop up. What we're talking about right now, the left
God, what the
constructing
fuck am I doing?
criticisms of the FBI in the form of policy and legislation, that has nothing to do with giving the right accolades on getting a broken clock, twice as right kind of deal, on criticizing the FBI, nor on pulling people from the right over, nor on meeting some of their legitimate criticisms of the FBI, of which they have only one, by the way, which is the fact that the FBI doesn't work for them. Now we're just talking about crafting policy to reform the police. The FBI are
Well,
police,
no.
after all, fundamentally, and I've always supported reforming the police in many ways. But notice how now we're talking about something reasonable, which is, hey, the federal police are, as many police institutions, rather corrupt and
I hate to break it to
self-interested.
you, but there's a part of this community that has been talking about something reasonable the entire time. And your reluctance to participate in that is a choice, and that's completely fine. But there's some of us who have said, we were very
Like doing what Marjorie
Wait a
Taylor
minute.
Greene wants by abolishing the FBI and giving them accolades and saying
Look,
they have legitimate criticisms and saying the FBI might have been politically motivated when they have Trump.
yeah.
No, you slip in like these narratives here, right?
I think that
which aren't necessary when
Vash,
criticizing the FBI in like a
you
formative way.
obviously like the FBI a lot more. Like,
Love them.
you're not going to convince me to not want to abolish the FBI. So I don't even think we should go down that road.
See, well then at the end of the day, all you
That's
want
such
to
a
do
crazy
is
take,
what she
bro.
wants to do, and
Well,
such you're prattling about. It's meaningless. You just want to do.
Vash,
Wait, no,
I don't think I'm prattling about anything. This is my show, and I'd like you to offer me a modicum of respect here,
We're
Vash.
both prattling. It's okay. It's fine. Prattling is fine. It's a free country. But
No,
at the
it's
end
not.
of the day,
I think that's disrespectful. And I've been in the background of
we're
all of this.
both grown-ups
Wait a minute.
here. It's fine.
Wait a minute, Vash. Wait a minute.
Yes.
In the background of all of this is you are sitting here in a way that is in the background is I've been trying to downplay. I've been trying not to emphasize what exactly your response to my radar
hit
has
me.
actually been. The reality is you called me a subhuman piece of shit as a consequence of what I think is, you just characterized as a reasonable conversation about reforming the FBI.
I don't think I called you that over that.
Wait a minute. I completely respect that you don't want to abolish the FBI. I don't care. Like, I mean, we have a difference of opinion there. I don't think it's worth calling anybody names or accusing, any ad hominem attacks. But my point is this. If all you are willing to get to, if all the place where you're comfortable is to say, wow, in this moment, it would be nice if left progressives or Democrats in Congress were advocating for the kinds of reforms that they think are valuable in this moment to provide a meaningful contrast to the kind of self-interested, elite-protecting reforms that Marjorie Taylor Greene is going for. Wow, I should advocate for that. And to the extent that I think that Breonna is not advocating for that, I can say, well, I think that Breonna needs to have a more focused message. I think that Breonna is going too far, but I would advocate for this. And it is frustrating to me. I do agree with Breonna that it's frustrating to me that the left Congress members have nothing to say about any of this when they spent years talking about defunding the police, defunding ICE, and having this institutional critique. Where are they in this moment?
Well, I'm not saying
But that's not what happens. Yeah, what are you saying?
Well, I'm saying at the end of the day, you can dress it up as much as you want, but a fascist said that she wants to get rid of investigative body that's investigating her corrupt dictator pick. And your answer to that was, yes, but for woke reasons. And that framing will always be something that I take issue with. It doesn't matter how sincere or legitimate the criticisms are. There are times when you have to understand that the material course of history is guiding your country in a direction where you're going to have to focus on other priorities. Like, it's with the police thing, right? We're in a very dangerous position in this country right now. Democracy might not last here, nobody can see the future, but it seems like Republicans are pretty openly anti-democracy at this point. They've been working hard to get rid of it on whatever level they're capable of. And reforming the FBI, that's fine, depending on how it's done, if it's reasonable. But the narratives addressing the right's reasonable criticisms, they have only one, and it's that the FBI don't work for them. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene happened to be right on this one. No, she wasn't. She doesn't give a shit about what the FBI has done. Neither do any of her followers. You're not going to own any of them or show them up by giving them a better version of the legislation. They'll say it's woke and they'll toss it in the trash.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that, Vaush. I think that
Vaush is
I know
100%
for
right
a
on
fact
that, I think.
that many of her followers actually do agree with me. I know for a fact.
When you say abolish the FBI, the exact thing that she said.
Yeah, I know for a fact that many of her followers agree with me on two important points. That the FBI is an institution with an enormous power that has been used poorly to target people who are historically vulnerable, including people like them because they're low income and things like that. And additionally, I think that they agree that it should not be an institution that exclusively protects elites. And I think that that's a good place to work from and a much more useful place
Their
than
framing
sitting
on
around.
that is totally
But
conservative
wait a minute,
bias.
let's talk about your framing, Vaush, because you just accused me of wanting to do what Marjorie Taylor Greene wants. But
By your
woke-
words, you both wanted to abolish the FBI,
If I could just
right?
finish the sentence.
Am I
You
wrong on
accused
that?
me of doing, you just said that you want to do, I want to do what Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to do, but for woke stuff. So I want to ask you, is not wanting civil rights leaders, of not wanting Fred Hampton to be murdered,
This
woke?
is stupid.
Can you go back in time and keep him from being murdered? Because if so, goddamn.
Is that what you think that I'm advocating for, or could there be some prospective value in protecting people who are oppositional to the government and making sure that the FBI's powers are restrained?
The Republicans will not do this. The Republicans have no interest in
Right.
restraining the power of the FBI
He's
other
right.
than
So
curtailing it and using it for their own.
This is such an important point. I think that is
So
actually what
right.
defines why there are these two halves of the left that exist right now. There is one half of the left that I think is really exemplified by the statement that you just made, which is that the right won't do this. Or sometimes you'll say things like, Democrats
right.
won't do this.
He's so right.
And the entire
I know, and I
political
can't believe I'm
discourse
saying
is
that.
limited by what you believe the pre-existing actors in place are willing to do. Which means at no point is there any conversation, even in loose, ridiculous kind of podcasty formats, at no point in academic spaces and political spaces and media spaces, is there any place to germinate ideas that have the power to actually push the Overton window in any way.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really destructive. And you don't have to agree.
No, there is. But you don't got to jump on a fascist trying to protect their strong man in order to make those points. Because all you're doing is legitimizing and giving left approval credence to them. Same thing Donald Trump did back in 2015, by the way, talked about how the DNC was screwing over Bernie. That wasn't him, and some lefties bought this. That wasn't him sincerely criticizing the corruption of the DNC. That was him, trying to, get a bite of lefty legitimacy as a maverick who could criticize
I love that example, Pausch, because the man won. The man became president of the United States of America because that message resonated, rightly or wrongly, bad faith or good. So if
has he addressed corruption in the political institution?
No, but I'm not Donald Trump. It's the reverse situation, Vaush. It's me saying to a conservative audience, hey, there's some legitimacy. Yes, I believe there's some legitimacy to your concerns here. Just like we opened this conversation talking about...
No, there isn't, because their concern is that Donald Trump is being targeted.
Just like we opened this conversation talking about how there's legitimacy to a lot of these men who have moved to the right because they feel like the social contract has failed them. They don't have a place in society anymore. They have leaned into a kind of misogyny because they don't have traditional gender roles to conform to and feel lost and lonely. I don't think the misogyny is okay. I don't think Andrew Tate is okay. I don't think rape is okay. I don't think any of that is okay. But there's an underlying there.
I don't open that discourse by looking at Andrew Tate going on about how he thinks society has failed men because you can't rape women for free anymore, and go, hey, he's right on this. Not about all of it, mind you, but he is correct in that society has failed men, and then take it from there.
I don't know
what you're doing. I
but wait a
agree,
minute.
you have to reach these people where they are. But you can't take their bad faith message and go,
Stay there. Stay there for a second. Stay there. I don't know what Andrew Tate has said. I've never listened to Andrew Tate speak.
Great. I love that.
But if Andrew Tate has said something like a sentence like, I don't think there's a place for men in society anymore, I think it's 100% legitimate to say, look, I disagree with everything that Andrew Tate stands for. I think that he is normalizing rape and violence against women, and that's disgusting, and he'll probably be criminally liable for it. However, of course it's true to your audience, and then including people who are 13 years old, that there is a kind of a crisis of masculinity happening, and I think there are some interesting solutions over here on the left. Why don't you come join me and talk about them?
But your
I think
solution
that's absolutely
is the same as
legitimate.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's solution: abolish the FBI.
I'm a little confused, Vaush, because
you're doing her work for her, right?
I don't know how many times I can say this because
do you want to abolish the FBI or not?
I, Brianna Joy Gray, think that that's a perfectly legitimate solution. One that, by the way, I could be moved on with people who are knowledgeable about what parts of the institution should stay in place, what preserve a certain function that I might agree is useful, etc. Because I claim to be no expert on the entire workings of the FBI as an institution.
That's fine.
However,
it's complicated.
But Vaush, it almost doesn't matter, because what I have said to you now repeatedly is that whatever version of FBI reform that you support, right? Because abolish the police, there's a whole lot of things in there that a lot of different people believe. Some people think it's not really abolishment if you're replacing it with this other institution that you can call the police or not call the police, but has a very different function and different funding and different framing and all of those kinds of things. But the point is, this was an opportunity for substantial reform, whether or not you want it to be "quote unquote" abolished or not.
It's not an opportunity for substantial reform.
And it was an opportunity for liberals, leftists, whomever in Congress who were elected.
He's fucking right.
Call Marjorie Taylor
I
Greene's
can't
bluff
believe it.
and say this is actually populist legislation that protects vulnerable people against the overreaches of the government. This is what you're purporting to want. And if you actually believe in it, sign on to this legislation.
And
when she doesn't,
nothing happens when she doesn't.
When she doesn't,
nothing happens when she doesn't.
Words away from me to this
all right.
sentence.
Okay, you're 6. Okay, we're at the end. Okay, we're at the goal.
And when she doesn't, that's the opportunity to call her bluff.
Okay,
and it means
call
nothing.
Their bluff. We've been doing this for decades.
Yep,
we literally haven't.
The Republican, no, you will. The Democrats have. That's how easy it is.
No, they haven't.
No, they have been. Because the Republicans will talk about any manner of emboldening or empowering the American people, or helping the American people get more change in their pockets, or lowering taxes or anything. And every single time the Democrats do anything that would objectively improve the lives of the working class, the Republicans go, this is woke, and don't pass it. Oh, any climate change reform? That's woke. Anything having to do with green energy? That's woke. Anything having to do with unions or healthcare or anything? That's woke. Toss it out. There is no calling their bluff, because while they may say they care about the FBI exercising power over the weak, internally they have a consistent message, was they want power and they want to kill you. You, of course, being whatever marginalized group is on the table these days, probably not me. The idea that you can
I think
call
that you're
their
wrong
bluff,
about that, but I'll just put a pin in that. Let you finish. Go ahead.
You can't call their bluff on this. It doesn't serve any point. The only thing you're doing is listening to a fascist trying to embolden her political strategy for removing democracy and all the barriers that prevent her from doing so, and going, yes, I think that she's right, on this point, and then you propose a solution identical to hers, and
Wait,
then
wait,
and then
the
the
solution
reform
is not identical to hers. How many times are you going to say that straw man, Val? It's crazy.
Other caveat. Now we're interrupting both ways. And the reform version, the more let's introduce the discourse here, you still frame as addressing some of Republicans' legitimate concerns. They have none. They have none. The Republicans are uniformly against any kind of power being taken away from authoritative institutions. They will back anything that can be done to empower the police, anything that can be done to empower the FBI,
That's
the
not
DOJ,
true.
or the CIA,
I'm sorry,
as
it's not
long
true.
as they're in charge. And
So-
when they have the power to take over those institutions, like Donald Trump tried to by firing
I want her to
the
explain how
directors and
that's
putting his
not
own
true,
cronies in charge, the way the DOJ, I forget it's Barr, tried to get sedition charges being brought to Black Lives Matter protesters, they don't give a shit about federal power being used to cripple the little guy, as long as they're the ones doing it. And all we're doing is giving legitimacy to their lie when we pretend they have any motivations other than the raw accumulation of power. There are plenty of things the Republicans could have done to indicate they actually care about taking power away from corrupt institutions. They have done zero of these. None. Zilch, nada. They don't do it, and they don't care.
So I said this at the beginning, and I would just like to say this again.
Orange team.
And I hope that we don't have to keep going back to this point. There is a difference between Republican voters, regular conservative people to whom these arguments appeal, and elected conservatives. There's no need to debate what elected conservatives in a position of power, what their investments in preserving their own power. Everybody agrees about this. Just like we don't have to go round and round and round about whether or not Marjorie Taylor Greene was a good faith or bad faith actor. As I said repeatedly in my radar, despite you and your response to my radar accusing me of being credulous and taking her at face value, I don't know how many times I can say it. This isn't about Marjorie Taylor Greene. This isn't about convincing elected Republicans. This isn't about any of that.
Voters
it's about
do.
it's the fact that regular people on the ground feel differently about this. And I'm sorry, like this is maybe just a difference of opinion, but my interactions with and real world understanding of the political smorgasbord that is the political diversity of this country and the random groups of beliefs that end up in any one given person who then identifies as conservative or liberal or somewhere in between. It's just not that neat and it's not that clean. And we maybe will just disagree about this because we have different experiences in the world and of humanity. But I know for a fact that there are people who have a good faith interest in a lot of things, including a good faith concern about the IRS targeting working class people, which is a true thing that happens, even though I think that abolishing the IRS does in the same way that abolishing the FBI potentially could if there weren't other prongs of the Justice Department, et cetera, to hold Trump accountable, end up letting millionaires and billionaires off the hook from getting audited and taxed at all, right? So I think that people, even though conservatives are weaponizing this IRS thing to try to, yes, insulate rich people from getting audits, it's good to say, hey, I hear you when you say you're concerned that the IRS has historically targeted the poor. I hear you when you say that this is a legitimate concern, and it is a legitimate concern. But if you don't meet people there, if you don't acknowledge that there's a core of something there, they have no reason to trust you politically. And maybe your interest isn't in convincing people and changing anybody's mind. And maybe my political project and trying to do so is ultimately a futile one. But I can't see that. I do not believe that there's more utility sitting in these media spaces, talking endlessly about what can't be done while the world burns, because a lot of people can't afford to extend the status quo in this way. And some of us want to just try things and throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And you said, I'm sorry, the one last point of what you said, just really quickly. You said that offering, again, you keep saying the same thing as Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care what you put in this legislation, but you cannot, you argue that the left calls, or liberals, whatever, the broad left calls Republicans on their shit all the time. It literally doesn't happen because Democrats never put forward clean bills advocating for populist policies. They never do it. We saw this happen with the $15 minimum wage, where it was part of a must-pass bill. Democrats intentionally took it out so that it could be killed. It was a 51 bill, right? It was part of the COVID reconciliation package. Schumer took it out, didn't have to, but took it out on the advice of the parliamentarian, which is advisory. So then it was subject to a 60 vote margin. It could be voted down by Marjorie Taylor Greene and, not Marjorie Taylor Greene, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, right? Over and over again. They will never have a standalone bill on things that they know are overwhelmingly popular and they'll make them look bad. They just won't. They barricaded the bill back better. They do this over and over again. So we never get these clean demonstrations of Republicans are against XYZ. Look at how Bernie has to run around defending that he voted down he voted for the crime bill because it had the Violence Against Women's Act in it. That's what they do. In fact, that's what Democrats always do to provide cover for the fact that they are not actually a populist or worker-centered party in the least, and they actually want substantially the same kinds of economic policy that the Republicans want. They just want to be a little bit nicer to the gays and the blacks and the immigrants.
Not substantially the same when Republicans are calling for the abolition of the IRS, but I do agree that they're closer to the middle than a lot of people want to acknowledge. I'm not making an argument for the efficacy of the Democratic Party here. I'm only saying that you can take a pretty clean look at what the Republicans or, McConnell failed to table or what they've shot down in the Senate or the House or whatever. It's pretty obvious that Republicans, in terms of their policy prescriptions, once they get in office, are evil and want bad things. That sounds like a sort of childlike simplicity, but it's actually the God's honest truth. Fake complexity is as misleading as fake simplicity. They will vote against things that are objectively good for the American people over and over and over again. It doesn't seem to affect their their voters' opinions of them that much. Now, I believe you can pull people over. By the way, you said you want to build a project and reaching out to people, and that the
Teamwork
complex
right there,
variety of their
buddy.
positions make a more unique and fractured voter than what might be seen just by how people vote. And I agree with that. People are very complicated. The issue I have is that there's a critical difference between the situations we're talking about here. When it comes to the concerns of a voter, reaching out to them, taking their bad idea, like abolishing the IRS, and saying, "Hey, listen,
I don't
buddy,
think it's a bad idea. But if you want to
Okay,
call it
well,
not abolishing the IRS, if you want to call it reforming the IRS, can we please just stick with that? If you think that, because it's not the same thing.
wait, I gotta finish.
Go
Wait,
ahead.
abolishing the IRS would absolutely be a bad idea. We have no systems in place.
I'm sorry. I thought we were still talking about the FBI. I'm sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, sorry, the FBI,
My
but also more so the IRS. Okay, the IRS, whew, yeah, no, okay, but anyway, you take a Republican who wants to abolish the IRS. I think you can walk up to them. I think you can go, okay, listen, I got you, buddy, okay, but we got to talk about this, spin it off in some way. I think that's okay. The issue I have is who you do it to, on what specific issues, and how you sell it. MTG, I think, is a no-go. I wouldn't agree with her on literally anything that she said, did, or believed that I thought benefited her agenda, because her agenda is oblivion.
Well, you agree with her on one thing. You agree with her about being anti-force the vote.
I mean, we both drink water, I guess, sure. Wait, was she? Oh, that's right, because she was one of the people who was consistent about. Yeah, so we got water, sky is blue, and that. And
But here, wait a minute. But why is it that it's like water, sky is blue when it's something like that? But to me, obviously wanting to dramatically limit the powers of an arm of the police state is a no-brainer
We're chilling.
consideration. The fact that me and Marjorie Taylor Greene are both interested in curbing government power is.
She's not.
She's saying, okay, fine, let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. That she's saying she's interested in curbing government power is an opportunity for, I don't understand why you think that it's like you're talking as though MTG has the ability to write whatever legislation Democrats put forward. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. If she wants to open this broad category of FBI reform, if she wants to open that Pandora's box, she's able to do so, frankly, because she knows that the Democrats are too feckless to actually call her bluff and do anything about it.
Nobody
the world
cares.
was
The FBI, nobody cares about the FBI.
Well, you don't maybe care about that.
No.
You don't care about the FBI.
No. The average American does not care about it. It's not like a key voters issue. Police reform is way more up there, and even that just gets towered over by other
But they're not doing that either, Vouch. That's the whole point. That's what's so embarrassing about this whole fiasco. That we had the largest number of people in the streets in a protest movement in American history 2 years ago, to which the Democratic nominee responded, "We need more funding for more cops."
Yeah, I agree.
He won
we live in a
anyway.
hell world. I completely agree. We're all
why
dying.
do we live
Everything is
in a
over.
hell world? Vouch, why is there no accountability?
Listen, I like
Biden did that,
accountability.
and you told people to go vote for Biden
Yes,
without
and
any
I'll do it
condition.
again. Yes, because there are two candidates who can win, and one is worse than the other.
But
There are two
let me
states
ask
the
you
FBI.
this.
There are two states the FBI can exist in right now.
let me ask
It's
you
just- wait, please. There are only two states which can exist right now as represented by the interests of people currently in power.
That's
and
not
that is-
true.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I got
that
you,
is.
bro.
Wait, who is fronting a public, support for FBI reform?
Nobody. That's my point. That's my point.
Then listen to
That's the problem. That's
Wait,
the
you cut
very
out-
problem.
So you're agreeing with me then? Based interests of people currently in power.
Let me ask
It's
you
just- wait, please. There are only two states in which can exist right now as represented by the interests of people currently in power.
That's
and
not
that is-
true.
No. That is. Wait, who is fronting a public, support for FBI reform?
Nobody. That's my point. That's my point.
Listen to
Vouch, that's the problem. That's the
you cut
very
out-
problem.
So you're agreeing with me then? Based on who is currently in power, there are two possible things that we can do with the FBI.
No, I'm not agreeing with you.
Stop. You just agreed with me.
I'm
You just
advocating.
agreed with me.
No,
You
I'm
just
not.
agreed with me.
No, I
You're
didn't.
advocating for
No, I
changing
didn't.
that
No, I
situation.
didn't.
You're
Exactly.
advocating for
I'm
change.
advocating
Right,
for a
so-
third opportunity,
so
a third
so
option.
in
That's
order
my
to get,
job.
So if to get that option, you have to change the current situation, that would imply that an unchanged situation, aka what we exist in now, is one with two options as represented by the interests of people.
No,
currently in power.
there's by that definition, there's only one option because there was only one party advocating anything, which is Marjorie Taylor Greene. So by your metric, there's
The
only
status
one
quo
thing out
counts as
there.
an option.
Fine.
So then that's it. We have that and we have this.
No, Vouch, this is so ridiculous.
No, you can change
Wait a
it.
minute,
You
wait a
can
minute,
get three, but right now there are two.
No.
You agree with me?
No.
Right now there are
Okay.
two. You can fight for
Vouch,
three. Right.
Who cares? I am fighting for three, and you're convincing people to take one of two options because you're too afraid
please,
to advocate for anything in the world that's
We're almost there.
real.
We're almost there. You are tying
So
option.
patronizing.
You are tying option number 3 to the insane bad faith fascist.
No, I'm
Why?
not.
No,
I'm
please.
not.
No, BGG.
Okay, I'll explain
Why?
it to you.
No,
I'll explain it to you
please,
real slow. Let me answer your question. You just asked me why.
Wait, please. We have two institutional options right now, okay? We have two parties, if we may. We have the MAGA group and we have Democrats and moderates broadly. The MAGA group are composed entirely of fascists and people who want to abolish our democracy. And the moderate-leaning Republicans, the moderates and the Democrats, are some neutral flavor of law and order to maybe mild reform of the police. Why would you hinge any reform of the FBI to the fascists and not to the legitimate concerns of people who are arguing against police brutality. If you wanted to reach out to people who want to reform the FBI, don't reach out to MAGA voters, reach out to liberals. They were the ones out there on the streets protesting against police brutality, ineffectively, I might add, because we live in a hell world. But if you're going to tie FBI reform to some kind of optical or political front or movement, why would you do it to the worst people with the worst intentions rather than the not worst people with the not worst intentions? This is the issue that I have. Our power is in our voice. Our legitimacy conveys strength to broader public fronts. Marjorie Taylor Greene runs this train, not you, or Donald Trump technically
so you
does.
can
She's
use
the
words
conductor.
like hinge and tie and do what you want. But I think most people
And
understand.
articles like and to.
I think that most people understand that my audience has no cognitive difficulty in processing, exploiting a opportunity rhetorically in the
All
political
audiences
field.
have cognitive difficulties. Trust me, I have one. We've all
My
seen
audience gets it. My audience, there's nobody who didn't already have
that's
a bad
hubris.
faith. There's nobody in my audience who didn't already have a bad faith perspective of me, who's gotten a lot of clicks and views out of calling me every name in the book and criticizing every word out of my mouth, frankly. Unless you already had an inclination to think the worst of me. Nobody who heard me say, Marjorie Taylor Greene is an utter fool, but she's opened the door to something that is legitimate, which is that the FBI needs to be abolished. Let's say substantive reform, since that's a sticking point for you and
She
you
is not.
disagree on that issue.
This
and
is-
that
this is
what,
like- this is
Jesus
like saying-
Christ, dude, come on.
It's
Let
like
me
saying
just finish this
no, it's like
sentence.
saying the Nazis opened the door to anarchism because they abolished the Wehrmacht government. You know, or sorry,
Do you think
the,
it's
the Weimar
appropriate to
government.
continually compare Marjorie Taylor Greene, one elected representative of the United States of America, to the Nazi regime that killed 6 million plus Jews and however many tens of
Yes,
millions of Russians?
absolutely. The fact that you don't think that's appropriate is insane to me. Like genuinely unhinged.
Okay, I think that's
Fascists
pretty
are fascists
disrespectful
are fa-
to millions of dead
No, okay.
people and real life consequences. But we don't
Yes,
have to go down that
it's
road. I think,
tragic,
look,
I'm sure.
I
No,
think
you'll,
it's a
you'll
rhetorical.
just drop a shoe at the door and then
Vash,
leave it. It's
I think it's
perfectly
rhetorically.
understandable.
I think there's a reason why Goodwin's Law is what it is. It's rhetorically, I think, weak to constantly have to shoehorn Nazis into every argument to make your point. I don't
It's
think
an
that either of
internet
us needs
classic,
to do
and
that.
They're fascists. It's a perfectly valid comparison, especially since in this case,
I just wanna get to this point.
Marjorie Taylor Greene also wants to abolish a federal institution that she's just using as a bulwark to achieve power, but other people might misinterpret.
85% of what the FBI has done is to crush people like me, people who are black, people
She
who are
doesn't
left,
care.
people
Listen,
who are coming.
you're-
But I
she
know that
doesn't
she doesn't
care.
care, Vash. Why do you
She
keep saying
doesn't
that to
care.
me? I know
Then
she doesn't
why do you
care.
keep bringing it
Wait
up?
a minute. I know she doesn't
Historically,
care.
the Weimar Republic had done so many bad things. Do you think that made it more justifiable when the Nazis said they wanted to abolish it in favor of putting
Okay.
Hitler as the
So
emperor?
the argument is
No,
if
wait,
the
you
left-
answer that. The Weimar Republic had done like mostly bad things. It was a government in
The argument is that
in
if the
early
left-
20th century.
If the argument is that if the left wants to if the right wants to make a claim like the police are bad, this is what was happening at the moment. After years of criticizing the left and calling everybody Antifa and flying Blue Lives Matter flags, between 1-6 in this moment, there has been a really
I don't know, bro. Dude, I'm reading these comments and holy fuck. Everybody's like, Vash is a dumbass. I mean, this is her channel, right? So yeah, it kind of makes sense that everybody would be shitting on Vash here, but... Dude, her shit is... I mean, dude, I fucking agree. This is so crazy, bro, but I fucking agree with Vash, man.
interesting shift and realignment inside the Republican Party.
They're all still pro law and order.
They're not.
They are. They all. If you take a look at what motivates Republican voters and which candidates tend to win in the midterms, law and order
So,
rhetoric, cracking down on the
They're
BLM
not
protesters,
all.
Antifa.
They're not all still law and order.
No, they're
I'm not
anti
making. Wait a
the
minute.
Capitol
Wait a
Police
minute.
and FBI.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I am not making a claim that now all Republicans hate the police. I'm not making the claims that 90% of the Republicans hate the police. I'm not saying no such thing. What I'm arguing is that there is a new vulnerability in their arguments. There's a new subtlety to these arguments where for the first time, and perhaps a long time, Republicans can imagine a world in which they are oppositional to the police. It's not just a consequence of 1-6. I don't know if you watched that Andrew Callahan documentary. There are all of these interesting moments that are burbling up. And Marjorie Taylor Greene saying this thing about the FBI was in some ways like the highest profile crack in what has been a very formidable defense or alignment, I should say, of Republicans and the police since time immemorial, it seems. Now, you can say that's not a real thing. It's a superficial crack. It's not a real thing. It doesn't matter. And I understand that you disagree with this, but my perspective is it's worth chipping away at that and see how far we can go. Let's chip away at them and either force them to double down and go back to saying they love the police and that's fine, whatever, no love lost, or create opportunities. If they're going to tell their audiences, if they're going to speak to the average conservative voter and say, actually, the police aren't always good. Oh, actually, maybe we shouldn't have qualified immunity. Maybe police members should be held accountable too, because sometimes they go after people that I like. How is it delusional? Even Donald Trump, there's been a conservative push to end qualified immunity for years. That's like a real thing.
They are only after power if it's in their way. There is no institutional support for broad police reform.
Of course that's true, Val.
The current conservative darlings are Trump, who said that we should suspend the Constitution, and DeSantis, who is currently constructing his own little Oceania down there in Florida. The current leading conservative constitutional interpretation theory is one where they essentially abolish originalism and go in favor of what like a kind of paternalistic Christian nationalism. They are purely authoritarian in every element of their political advocacy, and coincidentally, the only time they seem to have a problem with power is when it's in their way. Why would you ever give this any weight or credence?
What's so crazy about
why pretend it's a crack? It's not a crack. They're a unified wall.
What's crazy is that, like, literally in my radar, like every time I talk about these things, I'll say exactly that, and you don't hear it. Like, it's like you don't want to hear it.
It's a steel block.
I'll say, hey, audience, this is a principle, whether it's free speech or limiting government power, and you believe in it. Now, the people that you like on the right who are talking about these things, they're saying they believe in those things, but they're not really good faith actors. They're just trying to protect their own. I just did a radar like this about the IRS. So if you genuinely believe in these principles, like the poor shouldn't be targeted by the IRS, here's alternative policy. For example, part of Bernie Sanders' wealth tax was to have a 30%, I think, quota for millionaires and billionaires getting taxed to try to correct for how disproportionately poor people are getting or audited, not taxed, right? So you can meet them where they are. You say, I understand why these things appeal to you. They're not actually going to do those things to help you.
Right.
So then you pivot. That's all this is. And look, at the end of the day,
that was good. I have no problem at all.
That's literally what my radar was. But you have a hang about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that's fine. You obviously think that she is more dangerous and more.
I don't like fascists. That's true.
That's
a lefty
fine.
principle of mine. Look, that's literally.
That's fine.
Wait, BJG, you've literally hit the issue. If everything that you had said was, here is an issue Republicans are concerned about, I don't think they're coming at it from the right angle. Here's the right angle. If that,
that's literally what I said in the radar. We'll play the radar right here, by the way, in the podcast, so everybody can see word for word.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has become America's favorite broken clock. And it's that time of day where she's regretfully 100% right. Now, I don't take her critique in good faith. I don't expect her to keep this up when a candidate of her liking is in control of the deep state. But you should. Her hypocrisy doesn't have to be the hypocrisy of the average conservative voter.
I said Marjorie Taylor Greene is a bad faith actor. They don't really mean this. They're only doing this to protect Trump. However, this is what the left should be doing. And the fact that I say that, Fauci, and you still hit me with all these bad faith attacks. And by the way, you didn't just call Marjorie Taylor Greene a fascist. You called me a fascist.
Fascist enabler at times. We'll get to your Ukraine takes, I'm sure. It's not about the core of the arguments you just laid out to me.
Do you think that's useful? I mean, if you honestly think I'm a fascist enabler and someone who wants to murder Ukrainian children,
the last one was a joke.
Wait a minute.
The first one was.
But wait a minute. Why would you agree to come on Rising and look me in the face and be friendly and nice and act like all is well in the world?
What?
If you really have that level of antagonism toward me, if you really think that I'm as bad a person as you tell your audience repeatedly, then why even agree to come on Rising in the first place?
First of all, a couple of things. I've sat face to face with Charlie Kirk. You know,
So have I.
Right, okay. I talked civilly with him. I don't have any qualms about that. Second of all, I say mean things about a lot of people. It's genuinely just...
But why, Bausch? Because I've been accused of being a grifter. I've been accused of ginning up, fighting over force of stuff. But I don't take personal attacks at people. I don't do response videos to try to create beef. In fact, I'm inviting you here today in part because I've ignored you. I've chosen not to engage. It doesn't seem constructive. But because you were so, frankly, kind of polite and humble on Rising, I thought there might be a genuine opportunity for us to have a meeting of the minds at the very least. But then you make a joke like the one you just made, and it makes me feel like this was a fool's errand.
No, what we're having right now isn't a breakdown in communication. It's an aesthetic difference in how we approach what we do.
Well, I gotta tell you, human to human, I don't feel it like it's an aesthetic difference. It feels degrading and unconstructive in a space that actually means a lot to me, because I think the project that we're ostensibly both involved in is an incredibly important one. This isn't like, I'm not trying to be famous on the internet from talking about politics. I only became well, no, I was an attorney with a very good salary that didn't need any of this, to be honest. So I'm here because my passion for these issues drove me to start freelancing. I ended up getting a full-time position, and I ended up getting plucked by the Bernie campaign to be a part of this. That's why I'm here. And I'm not trying to grandstand to say that, but I just want to be honest about emotionally, it feels very frustrating to feel like you're trying to do something constructive. I'm open to criticism. I'm open to saying this is a different suggestion. We can go this way and that way. You don't like force of vote? Okay, so Rhoda had these other asks that was so constructive. We grew, we developed, we moved forward. But it seems to me that your position, that your desire is to coin winners or losers, dub winners or losers, good people or bad people, grifters and not grifters, fakes or legitimate
This
folks.
is pretty true.
And that seems to be ultimately very destructive to me, to this broader project that I think that we share, no?
We definitely share it to an extent. And I don't think that, there's obviously a huge overlap in the stuff that we actually do believe. I do genuinely believe that a lot of this is an aesthetic difference. If I was feeling cynical, I would accuse you of engaging in a kind of civility politic here, right? There were plenty of sincere, well-minded political activists back in the 1980s who would have shown up in leather strap or punk mohawks.
Well, that wouldn't bother me.
They might have. Well,
and
they might have
cursing
been
doesn't
mean.
bother me. That doesn't
They might
bother
have been
me.
mean too, right?
Either you really think you believe
that narrative that I am indifferent to the interests of Ukrainian children, or you don't. Like, which is it? Don't bring it up as like a joke. Do you think that I am happy, that I laugh at genocide and think it's great for Ukrainian children to be killed? Is that something that you think? Then let's talk it out. But don't bring it up as a joke.
I wasn't under the impression that particular bit would get to you so much. But if you want my sincere
It's not
opinion,
about it getting
I think
to me,
that-
Vaush. It's real life.
That's fine. Wait, I'm not insulting.
I don't think that Ukrainian children being dead is a joke, in fact.
Wait, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be insincere there. When I said got to you, I wasn't trying to epically own you by indicating you're emotionally involved in the stuff you talk about. I am too. The sincere, actual, non-joking, fully straightforward position that I have on that debate that you had was that I only saw the damn clip. But I do know that a lot of lefties, and people adjacent to lefties even, not just lefties, have attitudes on the Ukraine war that I consider to be outright fascist apologia. I don't think that makes them irredeemable people, or that I shouldn't speak to them, or that they're bad people fundamentally, or that they're malicious or lying or anything. But I do care about these issues, and it's a product of the fact that I care about these issues that I take the stances that I do. If I fly off the handle a little bit too much, I think that's a fine criticism. You know, nobody's perfect.
So having not, you didn't actually watch the episode, you just saw the clip and you made it a pin. Did you, I don't actually know, did you do a response video on my position on Ukraine? Have you done a video?
I saw it on stream. If it got turned into a video, that would have been my editor. So I don't think I talked about that for more than like 30 seconds, though. So I don't think I did a full thing.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that.
Do you think it's responsible? Like, maybe it's fine. Like, I can't believe everyone makes clips about me. For all that I'm called a grifter, it seems that I'm fueling the media ecosystem of YouTube with everybody making clips about my original content.
Well, you know how much people dislike me, right? So that's a mutual thing right there. People get real mad about me.
I can't speak to what people say about you. I have very consciously chosen not to engage because I don't think that kind of thing is constructive. And if somebody who wouldn't normally listening to me is listening to you and saying Medicare for all is a good idea, at the end of the day, I'll let sleeping dogs lie. That's to me that's the net benefit, and I don't need to tear you down or talk about anybody else on the internet. That's not my business.
Well, right, you don't do reactive content quite as much, right? If you're live streaming, of course, you go over all the clips and videos and arguments and discourse that you see and react to it.
I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not, and I don't mean this, you know, we're in different spaces and it's fine to be an entertainer. It's fine. But like, that's not my niche. So all I would say to that is like, I think it would be useful and good and probably actually elevate your content. I mean, that sounds patronizing. I don't mean it like that, but I think it would be useful and good to perhaps review everything in total, in context, to assume good faith of people. That's the irony of the name of my podcast. Is the whole point is that to try to engage legitimately and in good faith with all of these arguments, even with people I disagree. And that means not taking an isolated clip, or even within the clip, frankly, I think I made myself clear, but not taking an isolated clip and making content on it that causes people to make jokes or claims about me like I like and enjoy the death of Ukrainian children. That's all I would say.
With respect, I think that we're both culpable of this, even in this conversation to an extent. Like you mentioning that I'd called you subhuman, or you saying that it was disrespectful to the millions of dead that I might make a comparison to Nazi Germany. These are things that both of us do, intentionally or otherwise, to lower the opinion of the other in the eyes of our audience. Or I guess in this case, whoever is sympathetic to me who watches this content on your end, since I'm not live streaming. I don't think, look, I'm fine with banter and insults back and forth. I love that shit. Oftentimes I feel like a hyperfixation on it to the detriment of the conversation because people get all up in arms about who's being rude to who. The ideal is obviously for everyone to be polite. But we both shouted. We both made jabs at each other. I think that's wonderful.
I don't
think it's bad faith.
Shouting. I don't have an issue with any of that. I think that, look, at worst, I could be accused of, Vaush, not understanding the existential harm that Marjorie Taylor Greene and her politics present to the United States. At worst, you could say that I, underestimate the potential harm that could come of me saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene is right about this one narrow issue. And that's a perfectly legitimate criticism somebody can make. But you know that you went a lot further than saying that.
Fascist apologia, yeah. Which I stand by. I think that you've engaged in it to an extent. Okay. It's fine. Who doesn't do that, right? I mean, the first principle of being a lefty is to hate other lefties.
I don't think that I do.
And
in
criticism.
fact, I think that the FBI is a fascist organization, if we want to use these kinds of words. And I could easily say that wanting to defend and protect the FBI. I think that Biden's a fascist. I talked to Cornel West about this at length.
Then call me a fascist apologist. Do it. If you think that, then you should have no problem calling me that, right?
But I don't actually think that that's true, Vash. And I also don't spend my time I attack the powerful. I'm interested in attacking, or not attacking, but in criticizing Joe Biden because he has the power to affect so many lives. I'm interested in attacking institutions because they have the power to oppress people. I'm not interested in arguing with podcasters. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the point. And I think that you serve a valuable role. I think a lot of people in the space who I've argued with and disagreed with serve a valuable role. People like Sam Cedar, people like Jimmy Dore, who I sometimes agree with and sometimes I don't. I don't spend my time, and it's frustrating, I gotta say, when you exercise some restraint and don't spend all your time fighting with people, for that to be characterized as having alliances and secret cabals of it's ridiculous.
Well, I'm not making those criticisms. I usually criticize you for the stuff I think you've said or made points about. I understand that, the tribalism here can get out of order from time to time. We obviously do different kinds of content. But I'm glad you understand at least that there's a direction to this. Criticizing people in power is fine and good, but sometimes bringing on some dipshit MAGA hat to argue with for 2 hours while calling him every possible word that won't get you banned from YouTube is legitimately a good way of moving over people from the right. It sounds stupid, but especially with the right, oftentimes their allegiances have more to do with conveyed strength than actual arguments. So if you can make somebody look kind of funny and make a couple of good jokes, they'll take you more seriously. And
So what's
those
the
are
difference
attitudes.
between that? Let me ask you, what's the difference between that and what I'm talking about with alluding to the fact that, oh, you like Marjorie Taylor Greene? Here, what about my pet project over here on the left? Because there are people who said, after your Rising appearance, it's wrong to ask, Falchon to talk about this because of the past statements he's made about women. It's wrong. It's inappropriate. It's hypocritical. Da da da. Like you can make any argument that any person is inappropriate to allude to or to bring into a part of a conversation or to respect in any way or to validate rather in any way. So what is the difference between you debating Charlie Kirk? Are you and I validating Charlie Kirk and his beliefs or that he's a legitimate political figure by engaging with him in debate? Some people think so. Some people think so.
It's funny you bring that up because there was an instance in my conversation with him that I thought kind of spoke to the principle you were talking about showing them up or brain cutting them or whatever term you used. He was talking about.
Sure I've never
you might have used that
cutting.
term. He was talking about the pharmaceutical industries and how they're bad, Fauci, ouchie, whatever. God, And then I said, you can't pull that crap with me. I want to nationalize these industries. You can't. It's like this doesn't work with me. Will you nationalize them? And he dropped the subject.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like a very workable example of what you're saying is good to do.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about differences, right? In this particular, and I'll do the Godwin's Law bit one more time. Okay, I swear, just one. It was a treat. Now I'm dropping it forever. I've read up a lot on the whole Nazis, fall of the Weimar, whatever. There was a strong intellectual weakness on the part of the Stalin-backed communists in Germany at the time. The attitude was, around a lot of them, a tendency to underestimate the Nazis. The idea that this was just like another upsurge of conservatism, a populist conservatism that could be used by them. And they ended up actually being supportive of some of the institutional destruction that was done by the Nazis as they slowly undid German democracy because they felt that it was a dismantling of bourgeois democracy. I am very, very, very... what's the term? Vigilant, I guess, of tendencies that I see in line with that. Obviously I'm not perfect, and what I see is, leans into that. I could be wrong in my assessment. I feel confident on this one, but I do have a particular, can I say that here? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what? Okay, I was so good this entire time. I have a thing with that specific subject. And I do think a lot of lefties really underestimate it. It was like the Bernie or bust discourse too with Biden and Trump. And so many lefties were like, yeah, Trump and Biden are two sides of the same coin. They don't understand. A lot of them just don't understand. Bourgeois democracy may be a killer, but it is infinitely better than what we could be living under. And I think that leftism can only really even have a chance at making its arguments if we exist in a system that's not openly persecuting us in the way that the MAGA crowd probably would the first chance they got. I mean, God, can you imagine if Barr had started putting out insurrection charges and all the BLM protesters? It would have been over for democracy in this country. Thank God he got ousted when he did. So that's a bugbear for me. But it's not born of insensitivity or bad faith tendencies on my part. These are sincere things I care about.
So I understand your argument. It's the mainstream argument. It's the mainstream Democratic liberal argument. It is, in fact, the vote blue no matter who argument, right?
It absolutely is, yeah.
But wait a minute. I honestly don't feel like you understand my argument, with respect.
That was part one of a 2-part, 3-hour interview. Part 2 will drop on Monday. You can access it by becoming a subscriber at patreon.com/badfaithpodcast. You won't want to miss it because we get more in depth into Force the Vote and really, I think, resolve some issues once and for all. And we have some real simpatico on some really important issues about the attitudes that the left bring to progress strategy and our willingness to be adversarial to the Democratic Party, which I think have been at the root of many of the fights and much of the divide that has existed on the left since the end of the Bernie 2020 campaign and the Force the Vote moment back in 2000. So do tune in. You can find it at patreon.com/badfaithpodcast. And as always, I'll see you later tonight on Call-In. Keep the faith.
Yes! All right, all we got to do is not fucking let them score. I'm playing deep defense for 17 seconds. Oh, thank God. Yeah.